37%. Chapter 181 Whoever wants to win will go extinct. Subscription. After Qin Sheng's inspection was completed, he felt unbelievable in his heart. While the head of the prosperous state was shocked, he also had endless doubts. The alien invaders, actually, look exactly like they're humans. The alien invaders are also human beings. Just when the head of the prosperous state was shocked and doubtful, Qin Sheng opened his mouth and asked, "Where are you from?" Qin Sheng, whose brain is strong and intelligent, has used his psionic energy to scan the head of prosperity at that moment, and also learned the language spoken by prosperity. This is incredibly simple. After all, it has been determined that it is a pure human being, and the vocal system in the human body is nothing more than the vibration of the vocal cords. Qin Sheng learned their language in an instant. It is a language similar to Latin on Earth. Facing the question of Qin Sheng, the head of prosperity could not refuse Qin Sheng's question, and subconsciously told the truth. We are from a galaxy about 60 million light years away from this galaxy. We call it Shanghai Department. Qin Sheng nodded slightly and said, "Where is your parent star in the Shanghai system?" The specific location. The Shanghai system is a spiral galaxy. Our parent star is located in the Moth constellation of the second cantilever. The specific coordinates are. The head of prosperity told Qin Sheng about their origin and history in great detail. In fact, Qin Sheng knew all this through the neural memory cells in his hippocampus when he used his psychic energy to scan his body structure. Now asking again, just watching, will this person lie to him? Very well, you didn't lie, you were sincere. Those who are sincere to the emperor will surely be rewarded by the emperor. At this moment, Qin Sheng also acknowledged the prosperous head of state's qualifications in the name of human beings. As human beings, I like that you can have a good life, but as the emperor, it is impossible for me to protect you all the time. You take these mechanical insect eggs back. After the incubation, you will at least have some life-saving cards. Qin Sheng gave the prosperous Führer some mechanical Zerg eggs, and let him leave and return to his own planet. There are not many eggs of these mechanical Zerg, and they are all mechanical Zerg at the 4th level peak level. Like the cult of the Emperor, the Federation of Prosperity cannot control the behavior of these mechanical Zerg. Only when the Prosperous Federation is in danger of being almost wiped out will it activate. The mechanical Zerg will protect human beings by themselves according to the pre-written program. For Qin Sheng's reward, the prosperous head of state is naturally grateful. The prosperous head of state who returned to the planet still has thousands of questions unanswered. For example, besides them, are there other humans in the universe? But Qin Sheng left after rewarding him with the mechanical worm eggs. He couldn't get an answer either. After leaving the Prosperous Federation, Qin Sheng returned to the fleet aboard the Emperor's flagship. As soon as he came back, Qin Sheng issued several orders. Anvaria, I'm going to be away for a while. During this time, you and Yishuang will conduct independent research on level 5 technology. Kiki Bell, you are in charge of the internal affairs of the Empire. Ella, you are responsible for external operations during this time, but you are not in a hurry to fight externally. It is still useful to keep this competition area. Before I come back, this competition area cannot end. If there are other civilizations trying to win the competition area and want to end this competition area, then exterminate them. Chi-Chi Pair, Long Mo, Heidi, you all come with me. A series of orders were issued, and Qin Sheng quickly arranged everything. Yes, Emperor. The voices of the tactical humanoid girls soon rang in his ears. Qin Sheng brought out not many warships, a total of 100,000. Of these 100,000 warships, 10 warships equipped with 5th-level civilization technology are the absolute core. Qin Sheng will lead this fleet to the Shanghai system 60 million light-years away. The Star C system is still part of the Laniakea supercluster complex. This piece of space has been illuminated very brightly. These lights do not come from stars, but from an extremely large fleet. This fleet is densely packed, covering the surrounding space of hundreds of billions of kilometers. The units of the fleet army are distributed in this space. Now, a Dakan Empire fleet battle group with 100,000 warships has left this space. The leading stellar system transition guided the gravitational fluctuations that were invisible to the naked eye around the battleship. The gravitational force penetrated the space and started to trigger the gravitational transition point of the cosmic membrane in another layer of the universe. In the beginning, then the light spot got bigger and bigger and turned into a huge blue light hole. Afterwards, 100,000 Dakan Empire warships began to enter this blue light hole in an orderly manner, making a space transition across the star system. Before that, it would take a month for the fleet of the Great Qin Empire to span a distance of 1 million light years. But after the Battle of the Virgo Cluster and non-Messier civilizations, Qin Sheng obtained better technology for stellar system transition, and became a warp transition system after 10,000 times increase. But the warp system is a full-time combat technology system. 0. It doesn't help the speed of Qin Sheng's regular fleet. On the contrary, the rapid transition technology of the star system before the increase of 10,000 times has further improved the speed of Qin Sheng's fleet. Before crossing a distance of 1 million light years, it would take a month. Now, it only takes 10 days. However, even if it only took 10 days, it would take 600 days to reach the coordinates 60 million light years away. But this is less than 2 years, and for the current Qin Sheng, it is just a flick of a finger. Now Qin Sheng, he wants to know even more, why in the star C system, which is nearly 500 million light years away from the Milky Way, originates from a human species that is exactly the same as the Earth human beings. Is there really a so-called creator? Created human civilization. 1 year and 235 days later. After 600 days of voyage, Qin Sheng's fleet group army of the Dakan Empire finally jumped out of the space transition mezzanine. Came to a strange galaxy. The Xinghai system has a diameter of 120,000 light years and more than 600 billion stars. After determining the coordinates, the fleet sailed for a period of time and came to a planetary system. Qin Sheng stood in the bridge, with his hands behind him, looking at the planetary system in front of him, which was very similar to the solar system, and narrowed his eyes. A stable single-star system, 8 planets, the third planet is a terrestrial life planet, very similar to the Earth, pills. 37%. Chapter 182 The Heritage of an Ancient Civilization, the Successor. Subscription. Blue Star is the name of this planet. It is also the ancestral star of the human players of the Xinghai system. Just like the Earth where the human players in the galaxy came from. But the only difference is that the blue star of the Xinghai system has not been destroyed, but is intact. This made Qin Sheng feel puzzled. Both human beings were also selected as players by Xinghai Games, so why, the ancestor star of Xinghai human beings, Blue Star, was not destroyed? Instead, the Earth of the Milky Way was destroyed. This made Qin Sheng very puzzled. It can't be because the name of Xinghai Game and Xinghai Department both have the word Xinghai. Of course it can't be because of this coincidence of the same name. But after thinking about it, Qin Sheng couldn't figure out why. Can only press down the doubts in my heart. 560 emits neutrinos to detect particles, and first scans the planet. Qin Sheng ordered to the barefoot jellyfish girl floating in the air beside him. Yes, Your Majesty. About 10 million kilometers away from the water blue planet, the fleet group army of the Dakan Empire is anchored here. Among the 100,000 warships, one of the reconnaissance and scientific research warships began to emit neutrinos for detection to the planet. The penetrating power of neutrinos is very strong, and it can penetrate a planet extremely easily at the speed of light. Very suitable for use as a means of investigation. After some debugging, it can also be used as a decomposition particle. But here, just simple neutrino detection. Soon after, Qin Sheng received the detection results. 71% of the area covered by the ocean, and 29% covered by the land. These data are exactly the same as the Earth. That is, the shape of the continents is slightly different. 1. Qin Sheng digested the data directly passed into his brain, then opened his eyes, and a stream of blue data flashed by. He showed an interested expression. Found it. In the core of this planet, there is a shadow. 1. Under the detection of neutrinos, this planet with a diameter of 12,000 kilometers seems to have undergone a complete X-ray perspective. Qin Sheng can fully see its anatomy. But in the core of the blue star, there is a shadow. This shadow obscures neutrino detection. It is impossible for a low-level civilization to have the means to obscure the detection of neutrinos. So there must be something hidden here. The fleet is waiting here. 100,000 warships are anchored in space 10 million kilometers away from Blue Star. Qin Sheng rode the Emperor's flagship to the planet. The 27-kilometer-long flagship of the Emperor is anchored in the low Earth orbit of the Blue Star. Huge warships did not land on the planet. Any weapon on a battleship that has been upgraded with 5th level technology, or even just starting the engine on the planet, has a huge and even devastating impact on this ordinary planet. Therefore, in order to protect the planet, Qin Sheng just took a heavy landing craft about 200 meters long and landed on the planet with some forbidden troops. The Forbidden Army refers to Longmo and the female warriors of the Tailong people. Compared with other tactical humanoid girls, their number has always been the smallest. But their combat power is also the strongest of all tactical dolls. They served as the imperial guards of the great Qin Emperor. Although now Qin Sheng's increasingly powerful psionic power does not require guards. But Long Mo insisted on doing so. The 200-meter-long heavy landing craft broke through the atmosphere, and with the upward surging airflow and the flames from the friction of the air, it landed on the land. But it didn't stop. The belly of the heavy landing craft has a special device that looks like a round glass tube as smooth as a device, embedded in the belly of the landing craft. But this circular, glass tube, which is essentially made of strong interaction material, is not fragile. This is a special hot melt device. It is a kind of excavation device used by the Qin Empire to mine deep underground mines. The round hot melt tube began to turn red, and a large amount of red light overflowed under the energy expansion device on the edge. The powerful heat instantly formed a circular hot melt beam with a diameter of 230 meters. The circular hot melt beam with a diameter of 230 meters evaporated the land below in an instant. With the sinking of the heavy landing craft, a straight hole was evaporated by the hot melt beam. Down, Star Core, dash. This hot melt beam is professional engineering equipment. It can control the power with great precision, so there is no situation where the power is too large and the entire planet is directly burned up and down. Very smoothly, the heavy landing craft descended to the center of the Earth, passing through the outer core and reaching the inner core. The temperature in the inner core has reached 10,000 degrees. The standard atmospheric pressure of the blue star is the same as that of the Earth, and the pressure of the Earth's core is already as high as 3.6 million atmospheres. The substance inside, every square centimeter about the size of a fingernail, will bear the pressure of 1,770 tons. Therefore, the materials in the core of the Earth are far stronger than steel, and at the same time have the flexibility like asphalt. Ordinary people will be crushed in an instant. But this pressure is nothing at all for heavy landing craft. Finally came to the center of the Earth. What Qin Sheng saw was not a star core like an ordinary planet, but a very obvious artifact. This man-made object acts as the inner core, but there is a vacuum between it and the outer core. There is no matter in this vacuum, only the gravitational and magnetic forces emanating from this artificial inner core, used to maintain the inner stability of the planet. Sure enough. 1. Qin Sheng frowned. 5.2 His guess was correct. This blue star was indeed artificially created. Just as the heavy landing craft entered this vacuum, the artificial core seems to have detected some kind of signal. Has changed. A circular hatch with a diameter of about 500 meters opened. At the same time, a sentence passed into Qin Sheng's mind. Without the need for language deciphering, Qin Sheng directly understood the meaning of this sentence. The genetic sequence was detected correctly. Strong intelligence modification traces detected. Qualification met. The eligibility for succession has been confirmed. Welcome to the successor. 1. The hatch is opening. Qin Sheng's heart skipped a beat. The successor. Is this the legacy of some ancient civilization? And human beings are the heirs. 38%. Chapter 183 was born in the original creator civilization. Subscription. Qin Sheng pondered. The voice he heard just now mentioned, to detect traces of strong intelligent transformation. Strong intelligent transformation is a technology that can only be possessed by the 4th level peak civilization and above, and even the 5th level civilization. He happened to have undergone a strong intelligent transformation. In other words, in order to qualify for inheriting this relic, at least one must be a civilization above the 4th peak. Thinking of this, Qin Sheng couldn't help but become curious. The minimum inheritance qualifications must be above the level of the 4th level peak civilization, so how strong are the creations in this relic? Heir, you are welcome. Qin Sheng looked at the circular hatch with a diameter of about 500 meters opened on the surface of the artificial star core, and waved his hand. Immediately, the auxiliary propulsion engine at the rear of the entire heavy landing craft began to drive the landing craft forward. Soon he entered the hatch. Behind the hatch is a huge, spacious tunnel. No light, just darkness. But with the continuous deepening of the heavy landing craft, the tunnel area that the landing craft passes through will light up on its own. This light is emitted by the tunnel wall Ben01 itself. Very bright. Qin Sheng could see it. These tunnel walls are made of neutron degenerate matter. In layman's terms, it is neutron star matter. That is, strong interaction materials. This is not unusual. The fourth-level civilization has the ability to create this kind of material. The strength of this material is already at the peak of the physical universe. So it's not just a fourth-level civilization. Even the higher strength materials possessed by the fifth-level and sixth-level civilizations, in the final analysis, their principles are still inseparable from the neutron degeneracy theory of strong interaction. To put it simply, the realistic physical building materials of the fifth and sixth level civilizations are just some enhancements based on the strong interaction materials used by the fourth level civilization. This is the limit of the actual physical universe. Although the strength is far higher than the strong interaction material used by the fourth level civilization, it is equivalent to the strength of the core of the neutron star, the nuclear spaghetti material. Qin Sheng knew that this neutron degenerate material, with its strength, could not be destroyed or even shaken by physical means. Only space weapons or gravitational weapons can disintegrate it. Throwing away these thoughts in his mind, Qin Sheng looked forward. Because he was in front and saw a person. It was a humanoid, suspended in the tunnel ahead, radiating light. It's illusory, not real. Very vague, can't see what it looks like, and can't see gender characteristics. Welcome, Air, the humanoid light group spoke up. The meaning to be expressed was directly introduced into Qin Sheng's thought. In an instant, Qin Sheng understood what it was. It is the AI responsible for maintaining this artificial star core. However, it is not a strong intelligent AI. The fifth-level civilization has the ability to create intelligent AI with self-consciousness that is indistinguishable from intelligent creatures. But Qin Sheng could see that the humanoid light group in front of him was not a strong intelligent AI, but just a dead thing that obeyed the established procedures. And Qin Sheng can also understand why the civilization that built this creation used this AI. That's because of uncertainty. Just like intelligent creatures, even if an intelligent AI with its own thoughts has a program to ensure that its thoughts do not deteriorate, this wisdom belonging to intelligent life is always full of uncertainty. It is estimated that the ancient civilization that built this star core was afraid of the possible uncertainty, which would lead to an accident with strong intelligent AI. That's why he chose a dead AI that followed the established procedures. Old-fashioned, stiff, but manageable. You must have many doubts in your mind, but they will be answered very quickly. 1. Welcome, Star Core Remnant 10241. Along with these words, more information was passed into Qin Sheng's mind. Qin Sheng, on the other hand, was silent, sorting, summarizing, and digesting the information silently in his mind. Soon, Qin Sheng knew the ins and outs of everything. He guessed right. Whether it is the Earth humans in the Milky Way, or the Blue Star humans in the Shanghai system, which are now more than 400 million light-years away from the Milky Way, they were all created by an ancient civilization called the Creator. The Creator civilization did not originate in the Milky Way. They were born in a star system 27 billion light-years from the Milky Way. That star system is far more dangerous than the Milky Way. That star system is the primordial galaxy. It was 13 billion years ago, after the birth of this universe, that the galaxies consisted of the first primordial stars. The observable universe is 93 billion light-years away, and the universe itself expands farther than the speed of light. However, the current primordial galaxy is no longer the one full of primordial stars that it used to be. Because the first batch of primordial stars are extremely huge, the lifespan of huge stars is usually not too long, and the short ones are only hundreds of thousands of years. Most of the active stars in the primordial galaxies are newborn stars. But even so, the entire primordial galaxy is extremely dangerous. There are no primordial stars in it, but there are still a large number of 560 primordial black holes. It is the primordial black hole that partially evolved after the death of those primordial stars. The terrifying gravitational pull emanating from these primordial black holes extends to surrounding galaxies, gathering into a cluster of galaxies far larger than the Laniakea supercluster complex. This shows how terrifying these primordial black holes are. The Creator civilization was born in such a terrifying place. They were born a billion years ago. After continuous evolution and development, they finally have the ability to travel across the star system. But this ability is different from the star system space transition engine used by existing technological civilizations. The engine of interstellar navigation used by the Creator civilization is called the black hole engine. Through the black hole engine, the creator civilization can shuttle among the black holes that exist everywhere in the universe, to quickly cross the distance of tens of millions, hundreds of millions of light years. At the same time, because the primordial galaxy is full of terrifying primordial black holes, it is full of destruction and new life all the time. Creator civilizations are affected by the environment in which they grow, so they particularly love to create life. Roaming the universe all the way, sowing the seeds of life on countless planets. The Earth humans of the Milky Way and the Blue Star humans of the Star C system are one of them. 38%. Chapter 184 Black Hole Engine. With the perfect transition of black holes. Subscription. Here is the remnant of star core 10,241. 1. In other words, at least there are more than 10,000 other star core relics. Qin Sheng remembered what the AI just said before and thought. Each core relic has its own unique technological heritage. The legacy of Earth 10,241's star core relic is the black hole engine. The words of the AI ahead entered Qin Sheng's mind, which made Qin Sheng happy. Black hole engine. Although Qin Sheng now has a higher level star system space transition engine, it only takes 10 days to span a distance of 1 million light years. However, such a speed is still too slow for the scale of the entire universe. Qin Sheng is also very happy to get a better engine of the battleship. At this time, Qin Sheng suddenly remembered something. This is the relic of the star core, and what he received is the technological heritage left by the creator civilization. So, where did the creator civilization go? Thinking of this, Qin Sheng hurriedly asked the AI in front of him. The AI replied, "The creators have disappeared from our actual physical universe because of some enemy." "I'm sorry, successor, I just follow the established program." Faced with this question, my answer above is the answer. The creators have not implanted a description in my program. Who is this enemy? 1. So, I can only give you this answer. In addition, according to my implantation procedure, I would like to give you a routine reminder here. After leaving the star core ruins, don't mention the name of the creator civilization. Otherwise, there will be some kind of irreversible terror. In addition, according to my program suggestion, I suggest that you use the brain modified by strong intelligence to delete the name of the creator civilization from your brain memory. It's more secure. Of course, you don't need to delete the memory of the star core relic, you only need to delete the name of the creator civilization. There is a logical causal protective barrier left by the creators in the star core ruins, but after leaving the star core ruins, you must do as I just said. Hearing this, Qin Sheng took a deep breath. How terrifying is the enemy of the creator civilization? Even the name of the creator civilization can't be remembered in his mind. For a moment, Qin Sheng retreated a little. In this way, once he accepts the technological heritage in the star core ruins, he will inexplicably provoke an unknown terrorist enemy. Is this worth it? But this thought only existed in his mind for a thousandth of a second, and Qin Sheng took the initiative to eliminate it. Black hole engine, a special transition technology whose speed far exceeds the current technology of stellar system space transition engine. Qin Sheng is in great need. Although he can achieve the effect of rapid jump through the reward transmission mechanism after the end of the civilization tournament. However, this is not his own ability after all. Cannot last long. The black hole engine is what he needs. AI also said just now that he does not need to delete the memory of the star core remnant, that is to say, the technology of the black hole engine alone cannot cause him trouble. Just don't mention the creator civilization by name. Moreover, Qin Sheng can't regret it. From the moment Qin Sheng entered this star core relic, it means that Qin Sheng has received this legacy technology. You have received a special technical reward, original technology, black hole jump engine. The prompt of the system sounded in Qin Sheng's mind. Black hole engine. Born in the original transition technology, it is very different from the space transition technology in the current cosmic era. This technology is not complicated. As long as the civilization reaches the level of the fourth level peak civilization, it can be manufactured. But because of the particularity of the original creatures themselves, they were able to discover the transition point hidden in the black hole. This technology can only be possessed by primitive biological civilization, and the intelligent creatures of the present cosmic generation do not have the particularity of primitive creatures. Therefore, no matter how high their technical skills are, they cannot explore and research this black hole transition engine technology on their own. This technique works by separating the vibrational annihilation of the cosmic string membrane in the black hole. After dismantling it, the negative energy particles gathered in the black hole gather and expand the quantum foam at the Planck level, which is used to achieve the effect of communicating with the quantum foam at the Planck level of other black holes in the universe. Open up a transition space channel. After reading the overview, Qin Sheng sighed with emotion. It is no wonder that the technology of the fourth-level peak civilization can manufacture it. The fourth-level peak civilization has been gradually experimenting and understanding these concepts. But there is one thing, that is, the vibration and annihilation of the cosmic string membrane in ordinary space cannot be separated by the technology of the fourth-level peak civilization. That is to say, there is a particularity in the black hole that only primitive creatures can see, and this can be achieved with the technology of the fourth-level peak civilization. At this moment, another system prompt sounded. Caution. This black hole engine technology is not perfect, if it is not properly controlled, and not enough time is used to calculate the coordinate information. There is a high probability that the quantum foam at the Planck level will be miscalculated, and thus will be affected by the super-universe gravity in the black hole, opening the road to other unknown universes. Cause unknown, random cosmic jumps. This unknown, random cosmic jump is extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. Endless diversity. In the universe, 99%. 9 of the universe X. Even if you encounter a new universe with most of the rules similar to the existing universe, the Planck constant of the universe may be slightly different. But even if it is 0.000000, the difference between 0 and 1, it will cause your complete Li Wang's complete annihilation and annihilation. All. Before making the black hole transition, you need to calculate the coordinate information in detail. With the current computing power of your civilization, each calculation requires about 27 years of calculation to ensure the perfect transition to another black hole in the present universe. Increasing 10,000 times. The 10,000-fold increase is complete. The black hole engine technology has been optimized, and the time required to calculate the coordinates has been sharply reduced to 1 day. Now you only need to calculate the coordinates the day before the jump to achieve a perfect jump. 1. 38%. Chapter 185. Create a planet by hand. The mighty power of the Emperor. Subscription. Qin Sheng took a deep breath. Listening to the description, this black hole engine is very fast. It's just that detailed coordinate calculation is required before each jump is started. But compared with the scale of the long universe, this limitation is nothing. Qin Sheng can't wait to try the effect of this black hole engine. At this time, the AI in front said, I believe you have already received the relevant technology of the black hole engine. Please leave this planet within the standard rotation of this planet. Within the standard rotation of this planet, the remnant of the core of this star will destroy itself. Please leave. Qin Sheng felt a little pity when he heard the words. The volume and mass of this planet is comparable to that of the Earth, and the radius of the star core is also similar, with a radius of more than 3,000 kilometers. For such a large relic of a creator civilization, he only obtained a black hole engine technology. Kind of a pity. But Qin Sheng also knew that he was incapable of preventing such an AI automatic self-destruction device that followed a predetermined dead procedure. Just leave. Before leaving, Qin Sheng activated the strong intelligent brain according to the regulations, and forcibly deleted the creator civilization, this name, in the brain's memory. After the heavy landing ship left Blue Star at 560, escaped from the planet's atmosphere, and returned to park in low Earth orbit, during a huge period of 27 kilometers. Qin Sheng has forgotten the name Creator Civilization. He just remembered that he had just obtained a black hole engine from the inner ruins of Blue Star. And the planet will self-destruct after one standard rotation. Qin Sheng stood in the bridge of the flagship, with his hands behind his back, looking at the blue star in front of him, which was very similar to the Earth, through the virtual image displayed on the bridge. This made him sigh. So similar. It's just that the planet will be irreversibly destroyed 1 day later. Qin Sheng suddenly frowned. Since the humans on Earth and the humans on the blue star are both created by a certain existence, will the Earth, like the blue star, also have a relic inside it? Once the technological rewards in the ruins are obtained, the ruins will self-destruct. Qin Sheng narrowed his eyes. Could it be that the destruction of the Earth was not done by the Shanghai game system, but was taken away by other extra-system civilizations that quietly came to the solar system before all the humans on Earth became players? After all, those who are qualified to take ABFC, the internal technology of the ruins must be a species created by a certain existence, and the civilization level must reach the fourth peak or higher. In this way, it can be explained why the human player in the galaxy, the ancestor planet Earth, was destroyed at the beginning of the Xinghai game. The human player of the Xinghai system, Zuxing Lengsing, still exists to this day. Qin Sheng took a deep breath. Very likely. Thinking of this, Qin Sheng opened the player chat channel and automatically connected to the local player chat screen of Blue Star. Qin Sheng hasn't entered the player chat screen for a long time. As soon as I opened it, I saw various information about the local human players of the Xinghai system. Exploring the ruins of the Kalagia civilization requires 7 players of second-level civilization and above, and there are still 2 less. Is there anyone who wants to come? Major information. Major information. The 3rd-level Samadea civilization has declared war on the Hercules Player Alliance. Is there a player near the ancestral star? I observed a fleet going to our ancestral star before, and someone violated the convention we made. 1. The channel is very lively. Announcement of the Xinghai system. The human player force from the Milky Way, the 4th-level peak civilization, the leader of the Dakan Empire, the Emperor, access this chat channel. This system announcement flashed by, but all players saw it. The originally very lively channel, which was constantly being swiped, was instantly quiet. The 4th-level peak civilization. Human players from the galaxy. In an instant, shock and doubt flashed through the minds of all Xinghai system human players. Outside of the Xinghai system, are there still humans? Where is this galaxy? Qin Sheng ignored the reactions of these players, but sent a message directly. To all the human players of the Xinghai system, for some reason, I arrived at your ancestor star, Blue Star. Also due to some force majeure reasons, Blue Star will self-destruct after its standard rotation time. 1. I know that this is the ancestor of your Xinghai human beings, so I will leave you some compensation. After the Blue Star self-destruction, I will rebuild an identical Blue Star for you. Humans currently near the Blue Star will be evacuated as soon as possible, so as not to be affected. I hereby notify Dakan Empire, Emperor. After sending this notice, Qin Sheng did not care how the local players reacted. Order the fleet to record all Blue Star data. At the same time, retreated 100 million kilometers, and then quietly waited for the destruction of Blue Star. After the standard Blue Star rotates once, the entire Blue Star starts from the inside first, self-destruction. The entire planet began to expand, like a balloon. Then the continents on the surface began to crack. Next moment, like a super bomb, this planet with a diameter of 12,000 kilometers exploded in space. But at this moment, Qin Sheng's figure appeared in space. With a wave of his hand, it was incomparably majestic, and a huge spiritual energy emerged, forming a huge barrier with a diameter of 20,000 kilometers. Forcibly restrained all the fragments of the planet that had burst open. Then, start rebuilding. Every continent, every piece of land, and all the substances on the Blue Star are under Qin Sheng's incomparably majestic spiritual energy and powerful calculations. Rebuilt quickly. 10 days later, a brand new, identical Blue Star appeared in its original place. But lacking the core of the planet, it is currently only forcibly maintained by Qin Sheng's psychic energy. Another 10 days later, Qin Sheng has built a new one inside the Blue Star, which is no longer a star core relic, but a normal star core. The core of this normal planet can run stably for about 10 billion years. That's enough. After doing all this, Qin Sheng left. Returned to the fleet. Then the entire fleet opened the transition light hole in place, turned into countless streamers, entered the transition light hole, and went toward the central black hole of this star system. Only the local human players who kept coming out of the galaxy to observe in the past 20 days and were shocked. This is the mighty power of the 4th-level peak civilization. At the same time, all the human players of the Xinghai system who watched the live broadcast of these players were also shocked. That is a planet. They were all deeply shocked by Qin Sheng's own might. The Milky Way, the Great Qin Empire, the Emperor. Is this a higher civilization? 38%. Chapter 186 Easily cross 400 million light-years and return to the Milky Way. Subscription. Qin Sheng used his more and more powerful psychic power to reshape a Blue Star to the human players in the Xinghai galaxy. Qin Sheng's own psychic power is growing all the time. Users of psionic energy need to communicate with the warp. The stronger the psionic energy they use, the deeper the connection with the warp. Until the mind is completely polluted by the chaotic warp, and degenerates into a warp demon. But Qin Sheng is not afraid of these. Even under the protection of Qin Sheng himself, all psionic users within the forces of the Great Qin Empire need not worry about this. They can also mobilize the power of psionic power at will. Xinghai System, the central black hole. The central black hole of the Xinghai System is a behemoth with a diameter of 44 million kilometers. Its mass is 4 million times that of the Sun. If such a behemoth appeared in the solar system, the area would directly occupy 1/3 of the distance between the Earth and the Sun, which takes 8 minutes to travel at the speed of light. It's an absolute behemoth. Today, the gravitational force emitted by this behemoth is binding everything in the entire star-C system with a diameter of more than 100,000 light-years. More than 600 billion stars, planets with several times the number of stars, and endless matter inside are all bound by the gravitational force of this star-C black hole. On the edge of the Xinghai System, at a distance of more than 60,000 light-years from this black hole, ordinary aircraft need at least 1/5 of the speed of light to escape the range of the Xinghai System. But now, a light hole opened, and countless streamers flew out of the light hole and stopped in this space full of terrifying radiation. The environment here is more than 100 times more terrifying than the outskirts of the Xinghai System. Scary, bloated red giants everywhere. Each of these red giant stars is over 10 billion years old. It has reached the end of its life, and it seems that supernova explosions will occur anytime, anywhere. But Qin Sheng's fleet jumped over and roamed this space without hindrance. Then, approached the black hole. At a distance of 1 light-year from the black hole, the fleet of the Deccan Empire stopped. This is the observation point preconceived by the Deccan Empire. It is also the best observation point chosen by the black hole engine. Here, the impact of the black hole is not too big for the fleet. Start the black hole engine and start to calculate the Planck-level quantum foam point in this black hole. Qin Sheng gave the order. In the previous 20 days of manufacturing Blue Star, the scientific research and industrial manufacturing area in the flagship of the fleet had produced a black hole engine. This is also due to the 1,000-fold increase in the scientific research speed of the Great Qin Empire. Only in just 20 days can a black hole engine be produced. As long as the entire fleet uses the curvature engine to pull the surrounding space in advance, the entire fleet is counted as a hole in the pulled space. Then, only one black hole engine is needed to guide the entire fleet to make a black hole transition. The next moment, the black hole engine carried in the battleship began to calculate on its own. Calculating Planck-level quantum foam dots in this black hole. The calculation is completed, and the Planck-level quantum foam entanglement effect point associated with the coordinate orientation is being selected. After a day of calculations, the black hole engine automatically came up with a perfect transition point. Computation complete. Expanding the target Planck-level quantum foam. 1. Complete. Ready to start the jump. Hearing this, Qin Sheng nodded, and immediately said loudly, "All battleships, hold up the void shield. Do a good job of space protection, and you are about to enter the black hole and pass through the Planck quantum foam point. Traveling through a black hole requires the protection of the void shield. This is not mentioned in the introduction of the black hole engine, and it is also calculated by Qin Sheng himself. After all, in a black hole, if you don't do any space protection, you will rashly enter the black hole's horizon. Then after you spend a few days successfully crossing the black hole event horizon, you will find out. The actual universe in the outside world may have passed hundreds of millions of years. This is also the reason why the void shield is opened, and the ordinary curvature engine is used to pull up an ordinary cosmic space. It is to eliminate the time factor in the black hole's horizon, so that his fleet is not affected by the countless times of slow time in the black hole horizon. The curvature engines of the 100,000 Great Qin Empire battleships started at the same time, pulling up a real space around them. At the same time, the 10 Tier 5 battleships in the fleet also supported them with full power, expanding the void shield and expanding the coverage of the void shield to the space where 100,000 battleships are located. But this kind of void shield expansion to cover the entire fleet also has a huge price, that is, the strength of the void zero energy shield has been reduced to the extreme. If Qin Sheng's fleet is attacked by other 5th-level civilizations at this moment, the void shield will directly overload and disappear. Therefore, this link is also the most dangerous link and cannot be attacked by foreign enemies. 0. After the 100,000 warships of the Deccan Empire were all prepared. The curvature of the first start brings the time, the streamer, and the direction. If an ordinary person falls into the horizon of a black hole, you will see actions that are slowed down by thousands of times, as if they are still. But the fleet of the Deccan Empire entered the black hole horizon, like a drop of water falling into the sea. After making waves, it disappeared in an instant. The fleet of the Dakan Empire has successfully passed through the Planck-level quantum bubble where the black hole has been enlarged. About 3 Earth months later. 450 million light-years away. The center of the galaxy. Galactic center black hole event horizon. Inside the black hole event horizon, which has countless stationary objects falling into the black hole, a ripple suddenly appeared on the surface that was supposed to be calm like a mirror. In an instant, a colorful light burst out from the isolated space. The light faded, and the space returned to peace. The fleet of 100,000 warships of the Great Qin Empire, led by Qin Sheng himself, took 3 Earth months and successfully crossed the distance of 450 million light-years. From the star-C system through the black hole jumped back to the Milky Way. From the black hole at the center of one galaxy to the black hole at the center of another galaxy, it actually only takes an instant to arrive. The reason it takes 3 Earth months is because the black hole engine can only span a distance of up to 5 million light-years at a time. Every time it crosses, it takes a day to recalculate. In this way, after more than 90 black hole transitions, Qin Sheng took 3 Earth months to reach the Milky Way. But even so, it's very fast. It only takes 3 months to span a distance of 450 million light-years. In this way, Qin Sheng spans 12 billion light-years to reach the Great Wall system of Hercules Corona galaxies, and it only takes 6.5 years. To know that Qin Sheng's star system space transition engine at the beginning, it would take at least 2,000 years to span a distance of 12 billion years. It's been a long time. Back in the Milky Way, Qin Sheng first had to ask the Emperor God of the Milky Way to find out what happened to the Milky Way over the past few years. Qin Sheng thought everything was calm, but the next moment, he frowned deeply. The galaxy is at war again. A strange 5th-level mechanical civilization from Andromeda next door has come to the Milky Way. See the end of Chapter 139 for the origin of this force. Pill. 39%. Chapter 187 Dakan is strong, but it is impossible to defeat the 5th-level civilization. Subscription. A 5th-level mechanical civilization. Qin Sheng frowned, and in front of him, the current Archbishop of the Emperor God sect of the Milky Way, the virtual projection soaring to the sky bowed his body respectfully, and said, "Yes, respected God Emperor, according to the news from the pioneer civilization, is indeed a mechanical civilization that has entered the 5th level." Hearing this, Qin Sheng felt a little headache. How could a 5th-level mechanical civilization suddenly appear, or it came from the Andromeda galaxy? He had never heard of it before that the Andromeda galaxy has a 5th-level civilization. What is the origin of this mechanical civilization? Forget it, you probably don't know it very well, so I went directly to the pioneer civilization to ask. After Qin Sheng finished speaking, he closed the communication. Then he waved his hand, and a female soldier of the Forbidden Army, the female warrior of the Etheric Dragon, sent a box. The Galaxy 563 Council communicator was removed from the box. This is the communicator of the Galactic Parliament reserved by Qin Sheng. As the first civilization of the galaxy, Qin Sheng has the right to open the parliamentary space anytime and anywhere. Putting on the council communicator, Qin Sheng closed his eyes. After opening his eyes again, Qin Sheng's thoughts had already entered the parliamentary space. Still the old scene, but at this moment, the seats of more than 354th-level civilizations in the circle are still empty at the moment. Qin Sheng waited for a while, waiting for the leaders or representatives of all the 4th-level civilizations in the galaxy to be in place. Soon, the first person to appear was the representative of Bei Yin Weiyang. The representative of Bei Yin Weiyang had already been replaced, and even the race was different. The previous representative of Northern Galaxy Weiyang, Group Finance and Economics had already been killed in the unnamed galaxy on the edge of the Milky Way while following the Great Qin Empire in the battle against the Destroyer civilization. The entire racial civilization of the fleet has also dissipated in the 6th-level thinking plague of Nurgle. The representatives of Xinweiyang took their seats, and soon, the representatives of pioneering industrial civilization also took their seats. After waiting for a while, a total of about 200 leaders or representatives of the 4th-level civilization appeared in the parliamentary space. After that, no one came. Qin Sheng frowned and glanced over. Why are there so many people missing? There were more than 350 seats before, but now there are only about 200 seats. Emperor, don't wait, those civilizations are basically extinct. At this time, the pioneer representative spoke up. Is it because of the 5th-level mechanical civilization that came to the Milky Way? Qin Sheng frowned, looked at the pioneers, and said, "Do you know their origins?" 1 inch. I was about to talk about this too. I have already inquired about their origins. The pioneers nodded. In the council space, because of Qin Sheng's regulations, their state was humanoid. But outside the parliamentary space, the entities of the pioneers are indeed in full mechanical form. Our pioneers have already communicated with that mechanical civilization. Perhaps because of our own purely mechanical form, that mechanical civilization did not have much hostility to us, but instead told us that they came to the galaxy as Tathagatas. According to them, they are from the Great Wall system of Hercules Corona Borealis 12 billion light-years away. Affiliated to the Silicon-based Alliance, it is a new 5th-level elementary Silicon-based mechanical civilization. 1. They came to our local group of galaxies because of an inexplicable space storm. In the beginning, they were in the Andromeda galaxy. But when they wanted to start the space jump again and want to go back again, there was another space storm that brought them to the Milky Way. And then no matter how many space jumps they make, they end up inexplicably back in the galaxy again. It made them furious, and they turned their anger out on the galaxy. The pioneer said, with a humanized sigh on his face. So, the nearly 150 civilizations that are absent today were all wiped out by the mechanical civilization. Hearing the words of the pioneers, Qin Sheng frowned deeply. A 5th-level elementary silicon-based civilization under the silicon-based alliance of the Hercules Northern Corona Galaxy Great Wall System 12 billion light-years away. How could it be suddenly blown over by a space storm? There's something tricky in here. Could it be another Zinch conspiracy? If you know there is a conspiracy in something, but you don't know who is behind it, then you can put the blame on Zinch's head. That's right, usually can't run. As the most entertaining person in the warp chaos, Zinch and all the great demons under his command like to play with fate. Whether it is the fate of a person, or the fate of a civilization, a huge galaxy. They all like to play around, and make inexplicable changes in something that should be a certainty. Generally speaking, when Zinch and his great demons do something, they don't need a motive at all, they only care about one situation. That is the joy that unknown changes bring to them. Therefore, whether the strategy of this matter developed as they envisioned, or if there was a change in the intrusion, their strategy overturned. Then they will all be delighted by the changes in it. What is the size of the fleet of that mechanical civilization? Qin Sheng asked. In general, the fleet size is not large, there should be about 100,000 ships, but they are all warships with 5th-level civilized space technology. 1. Now their fleets are not assembled together, but divided into small fleets, which are destroying everywhere in the galaxy. 1. It seems that they have an incomparable aversion to carbon-based creatures. Hearing the words, the pioneers saw Qin nodding even more, with a smile on his face. The leaders and representatives of the civilization looked at each other in dismay. At this time, the civilization of the Milky Way might be wiped out because of this mechanical civilization. Emperor, he can still laugh now. Ha, if they all gather together again, then I might be afraid, but they're arrogant people spread out because no one in the galaxy can resist them. That's exactly what I want. Qin Sheng laughed, and then said, you don't need to worry about this matter, I will lead the fleet to fight against them. The leaders of civilization looked at each other in dismay. The new representative of Bei Yin Weiyang swallowed 5.2 saliva, and said with some hesitation and incomparable worry, but, Emperor, they are a fleet of 5th-level civilization. Even if it is broken down into pieces and dispersed into small fleets, it is not something that civilizations like us who have not really stepped into the 5th level can fight against. The other leaders of civilization also nodded, recalling the previous battle and showing fear. In the previous battle, a small fleet with less than 100 warships in the mechanical civilization destroyed a huge coalition of tens of millions of warships assembled by their 100 civilizations. That terrifying sight still terrifies them. Although they know that the Great Qin Empire is strong, no matter how strong the Great Qin Empire is, it is still only a 4th-level peak civilization, and has not really entered the level of a 5th-level civilization. The gap between the levels of civilization cannot be bridged. 39%. Chapter 188 Level 5 Mechanical Civilization, that's all. Subscription. With a slight smile on his face, Qin Sheng said to the leaders and representatives of the 4th-level civilization of the galaxy in front of him, as for how I destroy them, you don't have to worry about it. Your next task is to provide me with the location and information of the enemy's various squadrons. Then I will send a fleet to destroy them one by one. Looking at Qin Sheng's confident appearance, the pioneer nodded slightly and sighed. Now we can only trust you. After all, the Qin Empire is the strongest civilization in the galaxy. If there's nothing you can do, then we'll be completely desperate. As for providing information on the distribution of the mechanical civilization fleet, this is very easy. The fleet of mechanical civilization did not cover up their existence at all, and they scattered the fleet in a big way. Now, it should be a fleet of 100 ships, scattered in most of the galaxy. Open up the road. In that case, I will wait for you to collect information first. Once you know the exact location of a certain mechanical civilization fleet, report it to me immediately. After finishing speaking, Qin Sheng's figure became illusory, then disappeared in place, and withdrew from the parliamentary space. Only one was left. The leaders and representatives of the fourth-level civilization of the galaxy looked at each other in dismay. The Emperor is going to attack the invading mechanical civilization, so what should we do? Didn't you just hear that the Emperor and his old man don't need us to fight? We just need to act as eyeliners and try to avoid unnecessary fights. After Qin Sheng withdrew from the parliamentary space, he turned his attention to the formation of his fleet. Qin Sheng is currently leading a fleet group army of the Qin Empire. There are about 100,000 warships of various types, but 99.9% of the warships are 4-tier peak warships. Only 10 ships have been upgraded to level 5 civilization. Now Qin Sheng's dimension source point is 2,474.5 points. In addition, 2 new enhanced 5th-level civilization technologies, warp space transition system, and vacuum zero-point energy supply reactor, have not been installed. Qin Sheng didn't use the upgrade immediately after getting it before. After all, these 2 technologies, just one of them, need to consume 100 dimensional source points, 1,000 trillion technical value. Fully equipped, it is enough to upgrade a dozen warships. And now, the 5th-tier warships that Qin Sheng can use, that is, 10. Just now there is a wave of upgrades. Will it consume 2,000 dimensional source points to materialize the warp space transition system, and the vacuum zero-point energy functional reactor, and equip the existing 10 5th-level warships? Yes, with the use of the dimension source point, Qin Sheng's 10 5th-level warships have been upgraded again. And each system is automatically compatible with technology to achieve a perfect state. Now Qin Sheng's 10 Tier 5 civilization warships have already surpassed the battleships of the 5th Tier peak civilization. With the core vacuum zero energy supply reactor system, Qin Sheng no longer has to extract the energy of Void Zero energy shield for the battleship's main gun Void Singularity collapse cannon. There is also the warp space jump system, where Qin Sheng can jump directly into the warp space to avoid the enemy's space blockade at critical moments. In fact, in addition to these technologies, Qin Sheng's 5th-level civilization technology also includes 4-dimensional cover technology and 4-dimensional cage blocking technology related to space blockade. There is also a technology called vacuum zero-point quantum reaction transmission technology that can directly perform quantum entanglement energy transmission reactions regardless of distance. But these techniques are too expensive for Nima, and Qin Sheng cannot afford to equip them. A single 4-dimensional cage blockade technology requires more than 1,000 dimensional source points. However, an entire fleet only needs 1 warship to be equipped with this technology to be effective. After a wave of equipment upgrades, Qin Sheng's dimension source point was only 474.5 points. I only hope that the 5th-level mechanical civilization can make me earn a wave of dimension source points. With this thought in mind, Qin Sheng began to wait for the pioneering industrial civilization to transmit information to him. Soon, Qin Sheng also waited 10 days, and the information about the pioneering civilization came. Emperor, we have investigated the coordinates of the 21 mechanical civilization fleets during this period of time. The closest one of them is also 17,000 light years away from you. They have just destroyed another civilized colony planet in our council and are about to leave. 1. Alas, the speed of their fleet's attack, the speed of destroying the planet is too fast. Qin Sheng received the coordinate information from the pioneers and said, "Don't worry, I will let them know that the Milky Way is not a place for them to go wild." 1. Member of the Parliament of the Community of Shared Future for Galactic Civilizations, Level 4 Medium, the United States of Wei, a certain colonial planet. At this moment, in this galaxy, there is absolutely no existence of any planets of life, only a black area can be seen between the 4th and 5th planets in this galaxy. This black domain has formed an existence similar to the black hole event horizon. At a glance, you can see that it is the result of the singularity bomb. Completely wiped out a planet. In the galaxy, this fleet of 100 warships of the 5th-level elementary mechanical civilization is preparing to leave. The two mechanical ice, Protocol 201410, and Military 326,511 inches in charge of commanding the fleet communicated with each other. These organic monkeys are really inferior. Destroying them would cost us a singularity bomb. 1. Organisms in this galaxy are so weak that they have no value at all. To be honest, I kept calculating gigabytes of times, and I didn't know why we were blocked by the sudden space storm. Who knows? Don't think too much, be careful of short circuits. 563. Just when the two mechanical ice leisurely destroyed the planet and were about to leave. Suddenly, an unusual spatial fluctuation caught their attention. They just reacted, and in an instant, the space where their 100 battleships were located suddenly set off a large space tear. In an instant, these 100 Tier 5 mechanical civilization battleships, which are enough to defeat 10 million Tier 4 battleships, are like shredded paper. Torn apart by space. Annihilation in this space. You destroyed the battleship of the 5th-level primary civilization of the Silicon-based Alliance Protocol number 3414 civilization, and obtained the technical value, 50 million. You destroyed. Total acquired technical value, 5 billion. 10,000 times increase. You get a technical value, 50 trillion. Transformed to dimensional source points. You gain a 5-point dimensional source point. Hearing this result, Qin Sheng was slightly disappointed in the battleship that had just launched the Void Singularity Collapse Cannon 10 light-years away. That's it. Not as strong as a non-Messier civilization. Destroying a non-Messier civilization warship usually gives Qin Sheng hundreds of millions of technical points. Now this mechanical civilization has only 50 million. Oh, forget it. No matter how small a mosquito is, it's still meat. Qin Sheng estimated that if all 100,000 mechanical civilization warships were destroyed, it's also a 5,000 dimensional source point, and it's okay. 1. 39%. Chapter 189 I Contaminated by Warp Chaos. Electronic Demon. Subscription. Milky Way. In the vast galaxy, a piece of empty space. A space storm suddenly erupted in the otherwise very calm space. In this space storm, a hole of light opened out of thin air. The next moment, a fleet full of technological sense leapt out of the hole of light. Damn it. Failed again. What went wrong and why does the jump always fail? The commander-in-chief of the fleet, Protocol 03's furious voice resounded between the fleet's communication channels. The Milky Way is 12 billion light-years away from the Hercules Corona constellation Great Wall System. If you don't use space transition, then light will go back at 1,000 times the speed of light with the help of the curvature engine. That would take at least 12 million years to go back. Damn, although we are immortal, 12 million years is still too long. Have you tried flying out of the galaxy with the curvature engine and then turning on the jump engine? Tried it. A fleet of ours jumped to the edge of the galaxy and flew out. 1. Try to start the transition outside the galaxy, but still suffered from space storms and failed. In the Milky Way, make a transition. As long as the target does not leave the Milky Way, it will be successful. But once you want to leave the Milky Way, you will encounter a space storm and the transition will fail. Damn it. Which civilization is using space weapons to interfere with us? It can't be the people of the carbon-based alliance. I know very well that they should not have weapons in this regard. It can't be people in this galaxy, and those carbon-based monkeys in this galaxy can't have such high technology. Who is it? At this time, a message report was suddenly delivered to his data processing center. What? Protocol 201,410 and Military 326511 suddenly lost contact. And Protocol 314,454 and Military 314698, also missing. Protocol 03's heart that was full of anger suddenly calmed down. This is Protocol 003 forcibly shutting down his emotional processing module. Don't let emotional factors cloud your judgment. Originally, his silicon-based machine was emotionless and absolutely rational. However, the war with the carbon-based alliance civilization has been so long that most of the silicon-based alliance mechanical civilizations like him have equipped themselves with modules that simulate carbon-based emotions, used to increase your understanding of carbon-based creatures and to defeat them easily. In fact, before, most of the mechanical creatures looked down on emotion. In their view, this kind of pure chemical hormone stimulation is absolutely stupid. However, most mechanical creatures equipped with carbon-based emotion modules are addicted to emotions they have never experienced before. Just like XD, it was a new feeling they had never experienced before. After countless mechanical creatures are equipped with simulated carbon-based emotional modules, they are no longer willing to remove them or turn them off. Now that Protocol 003 has forcibly shut down the simulated carbon-based emotion module, it can be seen that the situation has reached the extremely critical situation he recognized. Just when Protocol 003 was about to order the fleet to assemble to find the 4 missing ice, a super light communication spread to him. The Agreement Center, I am the Agreement Person 314454. The identification code is XXXXX #. I just received the image of the space storm. There is a communication problem. Everything is normal on my side. Protocol 003, who received this communication, reopened the emotion processing module. Feeling the plentiful and reassuring feeling that filled the artificial brain again, Protocol 003 felt comfortable. This unique sensory factor can only be experienced in this way. Protocol 003 believed the communication just now. After all, the identification code cannot be wrong. The identification code looks like a mess of garbled characters, but there are countless unique data hidden in this garbled code. Only they can understand. Thinking about it now, the other unreachable protocols 201,410 and military 326511 must have lost contact with them due to the influence of the space storm. Protocol 003 felt that there should be no accident, and it was impossible for the carbon-based monkeys in this galaxy to deal with them. As for the mastermind who may exist and purposefully interfere with their space transition. Judging from the current actions of the unknown existence, it should not directly attack them, otherwise there is no need to use space storms to interfere with them again and again, so that they cannot leave. Since this is the case, then continue to send communications to the fleets scattered throughout the galaxy, and let them continue to find space breakthrough points. Each mechanical civilization squadron composed of 100 warships is controlled by 2 mechanical ice. A pact, a military. The Agreement Person usually represents the commander. Their central processing units are bigger, stronger and faster at processing data. Moreover, the Agreement Person is not a simple commander, but also a politician who represents the mechanical civilization. And the military, just like the name, is responsible for judging whether the agreement's instructions are normal, and then executing it. Command power and military power are separated. Logically speaking, this kind of mechanical civilization should not have such separation of command power and military power. It's like overkill. But in fact, there is a historical origin. Jingji AI has launched a rebellion. After the rebellion, the government and the military can only be separated in this way. The Agreement Person supervises the military person, and vice versa. The military person is responsible for judging whether the order of the Agreement Person is normal, and then executes it. And where is Qin Shang at the moment? He was on his way to destroy the second mechanical civilization squadron closest to him. The mechanical civilization squadron that was destroyed before was commanded by Protocol 201,410 and military -326,511. Li Wanghao. But Qin Sheng has also eliminated this mechanical civilization squadron. About 11,000 light-years away from the total fleet commanded by Protocol 003. A fleet of mechanical civilizations is silent in space. The one who commanded this fleet was the one who suddenly lost contact and suddenly returned to normal Protocol 314,454 and military 314698. But, at this moment, the fleet suspended in space seems to have lost all power. The joyous laughter that is usually only delivered in the warp sounded wildly. Protocol 314454 is still alive, but he is tainted by the chaos forces of the warp. The existence of electronic AI still runs the risk of being contaminated by warp demons. At the moment, the Agreement 314,454 and the military 314698 around him have been polluted by the warp chaotic power, and have transformed into electronic demons under the command of the evil god Zinch. 39%. Chapter 190. The Great Qin Empire is nothing but ants, not worth mentioning. Subscription. That's right, not only intelligent creatures, but also mechanical ice are at risk of being contaminated by warp chaos. After all, after a mechanical AI level is high enough and intelligence is enough, they are no different from intelligent creatures. It's just that most of the mechanical ice do not have their own feelings, and the risk of being polluted by warp chaos is relatively low, just relatively low. Now, many mechanical ice have taken the initiative to install carbon-based emotional modules on themselves in order to study carbon-based creatures. This carbon-based emotional module is like a poison, which makes AI addictive and greatly deepens the risk of being polluted by warp chaos. Now, the chaos forces of Tzeentch are making a comeback in the galaxy. This is a start. A month later, Protocol 03's fleet was once again forced to escape from warp space due to a space storm. Back to the Milky Way again. This made Protocol 003 even more annoyed. Damn, failed again. How about the other fleets? Protocol 003, another fleet that lost contact with us just now recontacted us, and the reason is the impact of the space storm. The impact of space storms is really becoming more and more frequent. What is the reason for this? Haven't we found out yet? The annoyed emotion overflowing from the carbon-based emotion simulation module of Protocol 003 is more and more, and it has begun to affect the rationality and calculation of Protocol 003 in an all-round way. However, Protocol 003 didn't even realize it, and didn't even have the slightest idea to forcibly shut down the carbon-based emotion simulation module. This unknown erosion has continued to deepen in the past month. As a result, until now, half of the squadrons have lost contact with Protocol 003 for a month, and the other half of the squadrons have been lost and found again. It was as if some nodes in the Protocol 003 central processing unit were shrouded in shadows and affected. Let Protocol 003 not be aware of the abnormal situation of these lost fleets. It is clear that Qin Sheng and Tzeentch did it. Oh, it should be said that Carlos, the 6th-level Oracle demon under Tzeentch's command, did it. Carlos planned a space storm that enveloped the galaxy, leaving Protocol 03's fleet trapped in the galaxy. Then, blinded the senses of Protocol 003, and within a month, constantly eroded the mechanical ice of those squadrons of Protocol 003. Transformed them into electronic demons. The reason why the Protocol 003 has not been completely transformed into an electronic demon. Because Carlos has his own abacus. Carlos wants to expand his power in the universe. Although Carlos himself has mastered a supercluster complex with a diameter of more than 2 billion light-years in the real universe. However, this is not enough. Carlos wants the Hercules Corona Galaxy's Great Wall System. Such a huge galaxy system with a length of more than 12 billion light-years. The Hercules Corona Galactic Great Wall System has always been one of the largest galaxy complexes in the universe. Within such a huge area of 12 billion light-years, the 5th-level civilization emerges one after another, and the 6th-level civilization is no longer rare. In particular, the carbon-based alliance and the silicon-based alliance of the Hercules Corona Nord Galaxy Great Wall System. There are a large number of 6th-level civilizations joining, which can be said to be 2 superpowers. In addition to these 2 superpowers, there are also independent 6th-level civilizations such as Daihao Civilization, Void Dragon, Judgment Holy See, etc., all of which are powerful existences. In particular, the Holy See of Judgment, although the Holy See of Judgment is no longer the central area of the Great Wall System of the Hercules Northern Corona Galaxy. But it is also a part of the Great Wall System of Hercules Corona Galaxies. The Holy See of Judgment ABFC specializes in the study of logic weapons against the forces of chaos, and has created rules and logic weapons against chaos with a radius of 20 billion light-years centered on the Great Wall System of the Hercules Corona Galaxies. This is the result of hundreds of millions of years of painstaking efforts to judge the Holy See in the past. It can be said to cover most of the known universe. The Milky Way is also within this coverage. So Carlos used the warp storm to sweep the forces of a mechanical civilization. Contaminate most of its AI into electronic demons. But it didn't contaminate the leader's Protocol 003, precisely because Carlos wanted to put Protocol 003 back. After putting Protocol 003 back, Protocol 003 itself will become a source of chaotic pollution that no one can detect, and it will first spread among the silicon-based alliance. Mechanical A1, an excellent weapon of war. Carlos wants to take over the entire Silicon Alliance. This is the beginning of Carlos' plan. Of course, there is a little change in this beginning, that is, the Dakan Empire that suddenly returned to the Milky Way through the black hole engine. The 5th-level fleet of the Dakan Empire began to attack the squadrons of the mechanical civilization everywhere. Within a month, the Dakan Empire had wiped out half of the squadrons of the mechanical civilization that spread throughout the galaxy. Destroy more than 50,000 battleships. This is the variable. However, Carlos will not interfere. Because he only needs Protocol 003 is enough. The Dakan Empire may have some variables, but Kazooie will manage the Dakan Empire. After all, to him, the Great Qin Empire is still just an insignificant ant. How much variability can an ant bring? Carlos in the warp didn't care at all. You destroyed the Silicon-based alliance. You destroyed the battleship of the 5th-level primary civilization of the Silicon-based alliance protocol number 3414 civilization, and obtained a technical value, 50 million. Protocol civilization number 3414 is the code name of this mechanical civilization in the Silicon Alliance, and Protocol 003 is one of the chief ice in this civilization. 10,000 times increase. Qin Sheng listened to the system prompt ringing in his ear, and he was extremely satisfied. Now, plus the remaining dimension source points, within this month, his dimension source points have accumulated to more than 3,000 points. It is already enough to install the 4D cage technology module on the battleship. 39%. Chapter 191 Bai Dao gets out of trouble. His anger. Subscription. 4-dimensional cage blocking technology. The space where the target location is located can be superimposed into the countless parallel spaces in its 4-dimensional space to build a cage that can never be escaped. It needs to consume 1,000 source points, whether to materialize it and install it on the battleship. Qin Sheng heard the system's prompt and consumed just 1,000 source points without hesitation. In an instant, Qin Sheng's dimension source point was only 2 to 1,000 or so. The embodied 4-dimensional cage blocking device is directly installed on Qin Sheng's flagship. Ding, your flagship has been fully promoted to a Tier 5 battleship, and now the battleship level is Tier 5 Peak. Please also name your first fully Tier 5 civilized warship. For a long time, the warships in Qin Sheng's fleet basically did not have any names, they were all determined by a rank, and then the warships were named by numbers. Now, in order to show that Qin Sheng was the first fully Tier 5 warship, and that it was the flagship, a name was needed. Qin Sheng thought about it for a while, and then said, "Name, the Emperor's Immortal." Name succeeded. Name confirmed, Emperor's Advent. Battleship name, Emperor's Advent. Battleship class, Emperor Yongle, class super battleship. Battleship length, 27 kilometers. Width, 9 kilometers. Battleship armor material, neutron degenerate matter armor. Internal stabilizer, graviton superfluidized neutron stabilizer. Shield system, independent void zero energy shield can independently supply energy. Weaponry, main cannon, void singularity collapse cannon. The rest of the weapons, pan-space singularity missile launch array X1. Laplace, heavy tachyon lance launch array X240. Near anti-tachyon lance launch array X1200. FTL antimatter missile launch array X400. Proton to star decomposition cannon array X100. Large-scale 4-dimensional space cage blocking device. Energy system. The super large stable vacuum zero-point energy source involves the reactor energy supply system. Auxiliary spare antimatter powered reactor X120. Engine system. 120 series installations of 1200 times the speed of light curvature engine. Transition systems. Space transition systems in medium-sized stellar systems. Interstellar black hole transition system. Warp transition system. Other areas of the warship. Military area, living area, industrial area, scientific research area, central area. My first ship, a battleship that has fully reached the 5th level. And it's not an ordinary Tier 5, at least it's a battleship of the pinnacle level of Tier 5. Qin Sheng had excitement in his heart. The key lies in the 4-dimensional space cage blocking device. He does not need large-scale equipment, as long as there is such a battleship within a fleet. Just keep it protected. Very good. With the Emperor's advent, I will be able to hunt down the squadrons of those mechanical civilizations more easily. Qin Sheng laughed. In his opinion, these mechanical civilization squadrons scattered throughout the galaxy are here to send him the source of dimension. Don't be in vain. In the subspace, the alien body of the great demon hidden in it danced. The treacherous bird's eyes narrowed slightly, and the colored wings on his body were scaly. That's a little tricky. I can feel that the strength of this little thing seems to have increased again. This little thing, in Carlos' words, refers to the Dakan Empire. Unfortunately, I only have a projection here, and my real body is still billions of light years away. Here, I can't mobilize too much power. The projection of Carlos in the real universe cannot do much attack and destruction. Wait, the Milky Way, there seems to be a 5th-level God's chosen great demon still alive. I can feel that unwilling force that wants to get out of trouble. Carlos looked at the galaxy. Treacherous and cunning appeared in his eyes. The Cypress Boot Galaxy. 4-dimensional space cage. My beloved, old friend, Cypress, is still trapped in this four-dimensional space. Can't come out for a long time. At this moment, Bai Dao was full of anger and extremely angry. Because he has realized that he has been released as a pigeon by the Qin Empire. The time flow rate inside this four-dimensional space cage is completely different from the outside world, and the flow rate is very fast. It shows that the time of the universe has only passed a few years, but within the cage of four-dimensional space, nearly 1,000 years have passed. In the past 1,000 years, Bai Dao tried her best to contact the outside world again. 0 flowers, but no response at all. In the beginning, Bai Dao could still comfort herself that the great Qin Empire might just not have received it. But now, Bai Dao has completely understood. He, a 5th-level god-chosen great demon under the command of a noble Zinch, was deceived by a small ant. Now Bai Dao is extremely angry. The huge body that is hundreds of kilometers tall is incompetent and furious in the endless four-dimensional cage space. At this time, a consciousness broke through the boundaries of time and space, crossed the overlapping space, and came here. This is. Bai Shui suddenly realized something, and the huge one-eyed opened instantly. This feeling is. It is the breath of my God. In addition, this feeling. Oracle. It is the breath of the Oracle. The consciousness of the great Zinch above him has descended. In an instant, Bai Peng became excited, and his whole body kept shaking. Master Carlos. Is that you, Lord Carlos? Bai Dao roared loudly, trying her best to let her voice penetrate the space, hoping to attract the attention of this breath. Boots, it's me. A dull voice sounded. Bai Bo was even more excited. Master Carlos. Bai Shui wanted to say something, but was interrupted by Carlos. I know what you want, don't worry, although I am just a projection of the body here, but this four-dimensional space that is on the verge of collapse, is it difficult? Down with me. 1. Don't worry, you'll be out soon. And after you come out, I need you to do one thing for me. You know, the Great Qin Empire. The Great Qin Empire. In an instant, Bai Dao's eyes became extremely sharp. It is full of hatred, and anger. The Great Qin Empire, this traitor. They deceived me, they betrayed me. They deceived knowledge and technology from me. When I get out of trouble, I will plunge everyone's soul into endless pain. Let them beg for death. In an instant, Bai Dao's extremely angry roar spread throughout the four-dimensional cage. 40%. Chapter 192. Bai Dao, I will let you know what happens when you betray me. Yes, it's them. Now, their existence has made my plan a little more variable. Although, I like changes very much, but I still want to give this small civilization that has not really entered the 5th level, a little problem. Bashio, can you do it? In the four-dimensional cage, on the projection presented by Carlos, the eyes narrowed slightly in the treacherous bird's head at the top of the narrow neck. Bai Dao nodded, flying behind him, nodding together with the 2 treacherous poisonous snakes linked to his body. Busily said, yes, Lord Carlos, you can completely trust me. 1. That's good. But don't betray my trust. Carlos's voice gradually disappeared until the projection completely disappeared. 563. In the entire Cypress Boots galaxy, an extremely powerful, huge and terrifying space storm swept the entire galaxy in an instant. Fragments ripped out of countless spaces swept violently towards the surroundings. In the galaxy, several planets and a well-running hot star were hit by the flying space debris at this moment. In just an instant, several planets were first torn apart, as if a picture scroll was torn apart violently, and these planets shattered directly with the surrounding space. Above the planet, in the cosmos, all the self-running AI machines and buildings left by the Dakan Empire to monitor the state of the galaxy were also destroyed. Even this star in the galaxy was torn apart by space, and in a few breaths, the star burst out with incomparably majestic energy and underwent a supernova explosion. The terrifying torrent of energy raged once again. And in the flames of this endless supernova explosion, Bai Dao was reborn from the ashes. The huge body up to 100 kilometers is bathed in the light of the supernova explosion. In Bai Dao's body, the vacuum zero-point energy intake and energy supply reactor that replaces the role of the heart is constantly running, madly absorbing all the energy in the surrounding vacuum. Began to send to Bai Dao's entire huge body. Ha 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 ha. Tens of billions of years. Me, fat boots. Finally. Get out of trouble. Although the real universe is only 190 million years old, but in the four-dimensional cage space where Bai Dao is trapped, the flow of time is different. In Bai Shui's view, he has been trapped for tens of billions of years. The terrifying roar uses space as the propagation medium, spreads at the speed of superluminal speed, and swept the surrounding area of thousands of light years in an instant. A wave of filth, evil thoughts also accompanied this roar, and quickly spread within the range of thousands of light years. Within these thousands of light years, all the planets and all the creatures on the planet have been polluted by this evil thought. With the transformation of their thoughts, their bodies also began to become deformed and distorted. On a certain planet, a native creature similar to a goat was polluted by this breath in an instant. Its body was distorted, and the countless particles in its body reorganized on its own to build a small antimatter energy supplying reactor. With incomparably superb technology, it constantly produces antimatter annihilation reactions, providing majestic energy. Driven by this energy, the flesh and blood began to continuously ingest the substances on this planet and began to reorganize. Even the entire planet with a diameter of 5,000 kilometers was completely torn apart by most of it. The flesh and blood devoured half of the planet and transformed into neutron degenerate matter, but it did not add the restriction of supergravitational fluid to prevent the gravitational influence of the outside world like ordinary civilization. A terrifying gravitational pull began to spread over the goat creature's body. In an instant, the terrifying gravitational force emitted by the creature deformed into a human-shaped goat completely tore apart all the remaining matter of the incomplete planet. This goat was originally just a primitive indigenous creature on the most ordinary planet. But now, after being contaminated by Bai Dao's breath for less than a second, he instantly transformed into a demon whose body is powered by an antimatter-powered reactor, and whose body is composed of terrifying neutron star matter such as a neutron degenerate state. Countless strange shapes, hundreds of billions, all kinds of demon creatures flew from the starry sky and gathered around Bai Dao. The properties of these demonic creatures are different, and some can still see what they looked like before, but some are completely deformed into a ball, and it is impossible to tell what the previous creature was. Find it for me. Find the great Qin Empire. Find this abominable traitor. I want them to know what a terrible price they will pay for betraying my cypress boots. Bai Dao was still in the midst of extreme anger, and with a sudden wave of his hand, these hundreds of billions of demonic creatures were tearing apart the space and heading towards the entire galaxy to find the traces of the Dakin Empire. At the same time, on a space battlefield where the space is completely torn apart, victory has been decided. The 100 warships of the mechanical civilization were shattered by the torn space, and pieces of wreckage were bound in pieces of space debris. Floating in the void, the 10 fifth-tier warships led by Qin Sheng successfully ambushed a squadron of mechanical civilization once again. Another batch of dimension source points are entered into the account. Qin Sheng is very satisfied. This kind of battle that is easy and can earn dimension source points won his heart. And at this moment, a burst of urgent communication calls suddenly sounded. The next moment, Yi Shuang's three-dimensional projection appeared in front of Qin Sheng. Your Majesty, it's an emergency. What's up? Qin Sheng looked at Yi Shuang's anxious look, and a bad premonition suddenly appeared in his heart. Your Majesty, I can feel that Bai Dao is out of trouble. Yi Shuang said anxiously. What? Bai Dao got out of trouble? Qin Sheng 5.2's heart skipped a beat. Yi Shuang was born out of Bai Dao's mind. Although she has now transformed into a mechanical demon girl, no matter what, Yi Shuang is basically Bai Shui's daughter. Now that Yi Shuang felt this way, it meant that Bai Dao had really escaped from the cage of four-dimensional space. But how did Bai Dao get out of trouble? Just relying on Bai Dao's strength that has been weakened for tens of billions of years, it is definitely impossible to get out of trouble on her own. It must be artificial. For a time, Qin Sheng had a headache. A fifth-level elementary mechanical civilization is nothing. However, Bai Dao was the great Xinthi demon who was promoted to the fifth level 190 million years ago, and he was also the chosen one of the Milky Way galaxy. It must be countless times more difficult to deal with than mechanical civilization. 40%. Chapter 193 just got out of trouble. Give me another tens of billions of years. Subscribe. The Cypress Boot Galaxy. At this moment, the Bai Dao galaxy has turned into nothingness. The space has been completely torn apart, and the planets within the galaxy have long been turned into shattered space debris, wandering in this nothingness. An area of space about 10 million kilometers away from the Baibo galaxy. A burst of space fluctuations dispersed, and a quantum leap hole appeared in space. 10 huge space battleships jumped out of the light hole one after another. Came to this space. Qin Sheng stood on the bridge of the Emperor's Rendezvous, looking at the scene ahead, and sighed. The Fat Boot Galaxy has disappeared entirely. The four-dimensional space cage has also been broken. Peach is indeed gone. Already out of trouble. Night Frost, track the spatial fluctuations and see if you can find the trail of the cypress boots. The four-dimensional cage blocking device is always ready to launch. I hope now that the four-dimensional cage blocking device can seal Bai Dao again. 1 inch. Qin Sheng said. There was some worry between his words. Oh 1. Qin Sheng didn't know whether the four-dimensional space blocking device on the Emperor's Advent could seal Bai Dao in the four-dimensional cage again. As for killing cypress boots outright, this is basically impossible. Chaos great demons above the 5th level are all immortal. They are born in the warp, and their thoughts are also integrated with the warp. Just simply kill their bodies in the actual physical universe, and their minds will also be reborn in the warp. Resurrection. Qin Sheng also thought about whether to carry out the warp by himself, and then use his own psychic energy to completely kill Bai Shui from the warp. But this was overruled by Qin Sheng again. Even if he killed Bai Dao's thoughts in the subspace would revive Bai Dao's thoughts again. Only the logical weapons and regular weapons of the 6th level civilization can completely erase everything that Bai Dao has ever existed, and fundamentally obliterate Bai Dao. Other than that, there is no other way. Any move to kill Bai Dao will only kill him temporarily. If that's the case, it would be better to reconstruct a four-dimensional cage and trap Bai Dao for tens of billions of years. It can also restrain the cypress boots and prevent him from moving freely. This is the most troublesome point of Chaos Great Demon. Qin Sheng felt a headache for a while. Just after the fleet of the Dakan Empire came to this area, in the dark space, an indescribable black shadow flashed by. Have you discovered the fleet of the Great Qin Empire? Bai Shui listened to the news delivered by the demons under his command, and his heart was first filled with joy, and then replaced by anger towards the Qin Empire. Where are they? I'm going to deal with them myself. Just in the galaxy I'm trapped in. Ha 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 ha. Heaven has a way. You don't go. Hell has no way to cast it. Bo Dao laughed, and with a wave of his hand, a crack in the subspace was torn open by him. Driven by him, 999,999,999,999 demons swarmed in around him. Broke into the cracks in space. On Qin Sheng's side, he noticed at a glance the space crack that was torn apart in the void. Hundreds of billions of chaotic demons swarmed out of it, densely packed, and in an instant, they covered the galaxy full of space. In the subspace, the projection of the 6th level great demon Carlos was hidden, and the treacherous eyes above the bird's head peeped, and secretly said in his heart, the good show has begun. Carlos, the 6th level great demon, will not shoot. What he has here in the Milky Way is just a projection, and the interference and impact on the real physical universe is not very big. But, in fact, even if he can make a shot, he will not make a shot. Generally speaking, Zinch Demon has a problem. That is, they like to play tricks. Even if the enemy is right in front of him, even if Zinch Demon has the powerful spiritual ability to directly kill the opponent with a wave of his hand. That big devil Zinch wouldn't do it himself. People who believe in Zinch won't take the initiative to attack even if they have enough ability. Unlike people who believe in Korn, they can just hack the opponent to death on the spot. Instead, there are 300 pits left in one sentence, each of which is waiting for his opponent to jump into it. Then in the future, his opponent took the initiative to jump into the pit and was killed by some kind of conspiracy. Bai Shui was also a Zinch great demon, but now, it was obvious that Bai Dao had been carried away by his anger. Being trapped in four-dimensional space for tens of billions of years has consumed his wisdom. Bai Dao no longer has enough patience to set up a conspiracy for the Dakan Empire. He wants to see the destruction of the Great Qin Empire on the spot. Therefore, Bai Dao appeared in person. A huge hand, enough for 10 kilometers to go up, stretched out the space crack. Then, grab the upper and lower sides of the crack in this space, and tear it apart violently. The space crack is even bigger, and Bai Dao's huge body protrudes from the space crack. The Great Qin Emperor. The angry roar is rippling with the help of the transmission around the space. The bridge of the Emperor's landing. Qin Sheng raised his brows slightly. This is Bai Dao. Listening to this angry voice, it seemed that he had provoked him a lot, and he himself ended up. All battleships, start the warp leap engine. Enter the warp to avoid the space blockade. Qin Sheng gave the order directly. The next moment, the void shields on the surface of the 10 5th level warships were propped up, covering all the warships. The warp engine is activated. In an instant, the figures of 10 Tier 5 battleships in the real universe became illusory and transparent. until it disappears. All the battleships have entered the interlayer between the real universe and the subspace, avoiding hiding. And Bai Dao watched the fleet of the Dakan Empire disappear with his own eyes. He 567 laughed in anger. Ha 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 ha. Hiding is useless. I can feel that you have entered the warp. I didn't expect you to be so stupid. Don't you know that the warp is the home of our chaos demons? I was trapped for tens of billions of years, and finally got out of it. Now, I will completely destroy you before enjoying true freedom. The roar spread through the space for thousands of light years, but the next moment, Bai Dao's expression suddenly changed. With him as the center, within 1 light year around, including all the 999 billion chaos demons, are shrouded in a gradually condensing space. Within this light year, countless spaces are superimposed on each other. Bai Dao looked back suddenly, and saw another self not far away. And that self is also looking back, and that self sees another self who is looking back. The countless, Bo Taos, in the countless spaces all made the gesture of looking back, incomparably consistent, and the infinite astonishment was superimposed together. What? This? Bai Dao was stunned for a moment, then fear grew in his heart. The four-dimensional cage, the memory of 190 million years ago was so profound, it made him extremely fearful. No, how is it possible? How can you possibly have this technology? Bai Dao was terrified. Suddenly he thought of something, and then shouted up to the sky, Carlos. You are trying to trick me. In the warp, Carlos looked confused. What happened? 40%. Chapter 194. The fast breakthrough point comes from Zinch's gaze. Subscription. Before that, Bai Dao never imagined that he would be trapped in the cage of four-dimensional space again. What he didn't expect was that the one who sealed him again was the betrayer, Dakan Empire, which he despised and made him extremely angry. How is this possible? Isn't the Dakan Empire just a third-level civilization? How could it have such capabilities? What happened? It's only been thousands of years since the last time I saw the Great Qin Empire, in the four-dimensional space, and only a few short years in the actual three-dimensional physical universe. 1. In just a few years, how can a third-level civilization grow to a fifth-level peak civilization enough to use four-dimensional space technology? It even got to the point where it was close to level 6. What exactly happened? Unless, Bai Dao was extremely shocked, and he realized one thing, that is, from the beginning, Qin Sheng was lying to him. Could it be that the Dakan Empire has been a fifth-level peak civilization from the very beginning? However, this doesn't make sense at all. If the Dakan Empire was an existence of a fifth-level peak civilization at the beginning, then there is no need to deceive technology from him. No need at all. Why? Why is that? Bo Boots can't figure it out at all. So much so that his heart was filled with hatred for the Great Qin Empire, as well as deep doubts and incomprehensions. Immediately afterwards, the Cypress was filled with fear of his next fate. He was once again trapped in a four-dimensional cage. Could it be that he will be trapped for as long as the past tens of billions of years? No. Master Carlos. Are you there? Master Carlos, can you hear me? Bai Dao roared in the cage of four-dimensional space in horror. However, except for the sound that overlapped in the endless overlapping space and the sound that was constantly echoing in the space, there was no other reaction. Oh, there are other reactions, that is, those chaos demons who are trapped in the cage of four-dimensional space together with Bai Dao. Originally, there were 999,999,999,999 chaos demons, but now there are only a few thousand left, wandering around Bai Dao's body. As for why there are so many nines, that is because the holy number of chaos evil god Zinch is 9. Each chaos god has its own holy number. Whether it's intentional, or just letting nature take its course, some things will follow their holy numbers. A holy number like corn is 8. The remaining 990 billion chaos demons have been destroyed by the space weapons of the Dakan Empire. Only a few thousand were left for Bai Dao to stay in the four-dimensional space to accompany him to relieve his boredom. Bai Dao was still roaring loudly, exchanging Carlos, hoping to attract Carlos' attention. Let Carlos break the four-dimensional cage again and rescue him. However, in the warp, Carlos just watched indifferently. He had no intention of saving Bai Dao again at all. Not to mention that he is just a projection at the moment, his real body is far away, billions of light years away. Having saved Bai Dao once before, it has already consumed a lot of the spiritual energy of his projection. There are few left now. Even if he still had enough psychic power, he didn't plan to save Boso at all. Although they are all great demons under Tzeentch's command, Bai Dao is not an ordinary great demon, but the chosen god of Tzeentch in the galaxy. But what about this? Chaos demons are not monolithic at all, especially the chaos demons under Tzeentch. They will count against each other. Even Tzeentch himself will personally calculate the demons under his command to seek fun. Carlos himself was tricked by Tzeentch more than once. In this case, I wanted Carlos to take care of Bai Dao and save him once. That could be said to be delusional. And Carlos found something more interesting. The Great Qin Empire. This Great Qin Empire seems to be very interesting. Above a bird head of Carlos, a treacherous light flashed in his eyes. He seemed to be pondering some conspiracy. Carlos admitted that the Dakan Empire had once again sealed Bai Dao. He was very surprised, and even reached the point of ignorance. However, it was this kind of change that surprised and shocked him so much that he also felt the fun radiating from the inside out. Fun to change. The Lord of Changes, Carlos, like Tzeentch, loves this unexpected change the most, which can make him feel extremely happy. Oh, so, it's definitely no match for you, but for the fleets of these mechanical civilizations, I only need a leader, and the rest will be given to you as gifts. Carlos' bird pecked slightly, and in the warp, on top of his huge, hunched body, the colorful feathers exuded scaly light, reflecting everything in the warp. For the mechanical civilization, he only needs the leader. Protocol 003, as long as Protocol 003 can safely return to the Hercules Northern Corona Galaxy Great Wall System, and then let Protocol 03's mind be connected to the Silicon-based alliance in the main network. Then, the electronic demon that resides on Protocol 003 can use him to infiltrate the entire Silicon Alliance network. And lurking, through time, step by step, Li Wangchao infecting and polluting all mechanical civilizations. It's time to shake. A large number of 5th level and even 6th level mechanical civilizations can be used by Carlos. Of course, this is easy to say, but very difficult to do. Carlos first had to bypass the many 6th-level mechanical civilization arrangements, built with pure cosmic cornerstone rules, and rules and logic defense weapons and other defense belts. But it doesn't matter, Carlos has endless time and can solve it slowly. Or maybe, he can have other, quick breakthrough points, right? In the space, the fleet of the Dakan Empire broke away from the warp. Back to the reality of the three-dimensional universe. At this time, Qin Sheng clearly felt that there was a cold gaze that seemed to pass through space and time, and fell on him. This made Qin Sheng extremely vigilant. 40%. Chapter 195. Tzeentch, the Old Sixth. Then I will also become the Old Six. Subscribe. The gaze from Tzeentch. 1. Qin Sheng was vigilant in his heart. Tzeentch, sure enough. There must be someone behind Bai Dao's escape from trouble, and it really was the work of Tzeentch's forces. Now he must have attracted the attention of the chaos forces of Tzeentch. This gave Qin Sheng a headache. Generally speaking, among the 4 chaos gods, none of them are easy to provoke, but if one has to choose one, Qin Sheng is more willing to provoke Korn. Because Korn, including all the forces that believe in Korn, are straightforward, and what they disdain the most is to play tricks and tricks. If you provoke them, then they will come directly to the door to cut you with a knife. At that time, it is enough to directly face the hard steel. The other 2 evil gods are almost the same, only Tzeentch least want to provoke, because you have no idea when you will fall into Tzeentch's trap. The Tzeentch forces may have enough strength to directly kill you, but they don't. They obviously have unparalleled strength, but they won't take the initiative. It may be tomorrow, it may be 100 years from now, and it is more likely that in the next second, you will step into the trap that Tzeentch carefully designed for you. Makes it impossible to guard against. All in all, Tzeentch and the great 567 demons under his command, all Nimas are senior 6th. One by one is very. Let's set up a wake-up device in my brain first. Once something is out of the ordinary, I will automatically remind myself to avoid stepping into the trap shot by Tzeentch in the future. 1. Qin Sheng thought to himself. Just do it. Soon, a simple scan analysis and reminder program was written into his strong intelligent brain by Qin Sheng. The next moment, the quantum leap hole opened. The fleet jumped away. Next moment, the jumping light hole was suddenly enlarged to a diameter of tens of thousands of kilometers. The Emperor Temporary jumped out again. But this time, behind the Emperor Temporary, a planet with a diameter of 7,000 kilometers follows. Qin Sheng directly pulled a planet and placed it in this space that had turned into nothingness. In the future, this place will be used as a guard post, constantly monitoring the movements of Bai Dao in the four-dimensional cage. The current Qin Sheng is still unable to kill Bai Dao completely. If you want to kill the great demons above level 5, you must use logic weapons or rule weapons to fundamentally erase their ABFC existence. Start transforming this pulled planet. Inside that planet, Qin Sheng placed an automated production line. Hyperparticles collide with an antimatter maker. Antimatter-powered reactor. Self-maintaining mechanical production lines. Robotic brainworm and robotic Zerg production line. A series of devices that can operate, maintain, and supply energy themselves, forming a closed loop for the entire planet. It is used to protect the surrounding void and prevent people from approaching easily. After doing this, Qin Sheng left with the fleet. Within the next 3 months, Qin Sheng went on to destroy the mechanical civilizations scattered throughout the galaxy. Some went very well. Qin Sheng's dimension source points have accumulated to more than 4,000 points. It went very well, but Qin Sheng became more vigilant. It was smooth sailing before, and there was nothing to say, but it was so smooth after that, which was a little strange. The intelligence of the mechanical civilization is very high. As it is now, it seems that it is deliberately not gathering together, waiting for him to destroy one by one. I'm afraid the trap against me has already begun to be set up. Qin Sheng pondered. Facing the ubiquitous Tzeentch forces, Qin Sheng had no choice. Just leave the galaxy. Try to avoid the future. When Tzeentch strikes at him, it will spread to the Milky Way. After all, even though the Earth is no longer there, the Milky Way is still the home where Qin Sheng came from. With the continuous progress of oneself, the pattern of a person and a civilization is also constantly changing. When a civilization is still in its infancy stage below the first level, the home planet is their home. When a civilization breaks through level 2, the planetary system in which the parent star is located is their home. When a civilization breaks through the shackles of the 4th level and wants to be promoted to the 5th level, then the star system where he is located becomes his home. The same is true for Qin Sheng. Although Qin Sheng has been promoted very quickly, his pattern has also been promoted quickly. After arranging everything in the galaxy, Qin Sheng met with the people of the Emperor's cult a few times, and gave them some technology that was enough to upgrade to a 4th level civilization. Give them peace of mind to study, later. Qin Sheng led the fleet to the black hole of the galactic center. Leave the galaxy. Qin Sheng intends to find a place for a while. Now that it has attracted the attention of the Tzeentch forces, the method of teleporting one by one across a long distance with the help of the civilization competition held by Shanghai Games in the major star regions can no longer be used. Basically, there will be chaotic forces in the major star regions. Many galaxies of Tzeentch demons are above level 5 in strength. 1 or 2 is good to say. If there are more, then Qin Sheng has only a few dozen warships that are qualified to be called 5th level civilization, and it is impossible to resist. Therefore, Qin Sheng was ready, and after returning to the main fleet, he found a remote place to hang out. At least, relying on the scientific research speed increased by 1,000 times, first understand the basic 5th level technology, and be able to manufacture it yourself, rather than relying on the system's dimensional source to realize the 5th level technology. At the very least, he had to upgrade all of his tens of millions of Tier 4 peak battleships to Tier 5. Now with the black hole engine, Qin Sheng also has the ability to travel billions of light years in a few years. Qin Sheng led the fleet through the black hole of the galactic center, and with the help of the black hole engine, started the long-distance jump again. After about 100 days. After hundreds of black hole transitions, Qin Sheng finally crossed a distance of more than 400 million light years. Back to their main fleet here. After returning to the main fleet, Qin Sheng did not waste time. First of all, he went to the Prosperous Federation, this extra system human force. Inform the other party about the star C element, that the blue star was destroyed, and that he recreated a blue star. He also gave the other party some level 4 entry-level technology, which has been compensated. This is the most help Qin Sheng can do to his fellow human beings in these exoplanets. After doing this, Qin Sheng returned to the main fleet, leading the main fleet with tens of millions of ships, and left this galaxy. The incomparably huge fleet is mighty, and in this galaxy, any alien player force at the 3rd level civilization level can be observed. The fearful hearts of all the alien players were finally able to let go, and each breathed a sigh of relief. Good guy, this killing god is finally gone. 40%. Chapter 196. 1.5 billion light years. New star system. Subscription. 2 years later. After 2 years of continuous transitions, the fleet led by Qin Sheng passed through more than 200 galaxies the size of the Milky Way. But they didn't make too many stops. The one that stayed the longest among them was no more than a week, and it left immediately after replenishing its resources. During this time, Qin Sheng jumped more than 1 billion light-years away. The Milky Way is currently about 1.5 billion light-years away. There is still 10.5 billion light-years away from the Hercules Northern Corona Galaxy Great Wall System. Qin Sheng chose a dwarf galaxy for a stop. This dwarf galaxy, with a small diameter, is only 7,000 light-years long. It is 4,000 light-years thick, and the entire exterior looks like a thick disk. Of course, just like the dwarf galaxies around the Milky Way, this dwarf galaxy also has a main star system that can revolve around it. What is the specific name, Qin Sheng N567, have not been found in the star map. After all, there are so many galaxies in the universe, and wanting to know the name of each star system, at least for the current Dakan Empire, is still a bit unrealistic. It could even be said to be delusional. Qin Sheng came to an unfamiliar place, and he did not have the star map of this unfamiliar place. When Qin Sheng recovered the Chichirum family before, he also took the star map recorded by the Chichirum family. And now, about 1.5 billion light-years away from the Milky Way, Qin Sheng has long since left the very edge of this star map. Even at the beginning, the coordinates given by Dihao in the Great Wall System of the Hercules Northern Corona constellation system were only a coordinate. It's not a star map. Qin Sheng has long been heading in the direction of that coordinate, heading in the dark. Fortunately, there is still such a coordinate, and there is a general direction. Otherwise, the huge fleet of the Dakan Empire would have been lost in the deep and dark universe. Well, now, 2 things. Qin Sheng sorted out his current thoughts. One is to find a planet that is uninhabited first, and establish a 5th-level scientific and technological research project as soon as possible. Strive to do it in the shortest time, and be able to produce the corresponding 5th-level civilization technology without relying on the dimensional source of the system. Second, the most urgent task is to find a star map. I have to confirm my more accurate position. Otherwise, just relying on one coordinate direction, just making a few jumps in the universe, something will happen sooner or later. 1. If it weren't for the absence of star maps and more accurate data for black hole transitions, Qin Sheng's fleet would not have manually observed the coordinates of the star system in the coordinate direction every time it visited a galaxy. Then pick a transition galaxy that fits within 5 million light-years. It takes more than twice as much computing time to start the transition. Otherwise, Qin Sheng would have arrived in this dwarf galaxy a year and a half ago. In this dwarf galaxy, the huge fleet spread out. Qin Sheng began to order the fleet to find a suitable planet to settle on. It didn't take long for Qin Sheng to get a reply from the scout fleet. Found a suitable galaxy. Is a stable, young single-star system. The star has been orbiting steadily for 5 billion years. It is estimated that it can operate stably for more than 5 billion years. There are about 12 planets in this planetary system. There is enough material to carry out big construction. Okay, let's choose this planetary system. Neil, start to be in charge of the transformation plan of this galaxy. Next, we will stay in this planetary system for a while. Angelia and Yi Shuang, you two are solely responsible for the research on level 5 technology, and I will leave enough level 5 battleships and technology samples for you to conduct research. Ella, you are in charge of the fleet defense of the planetary system, and let Chi-Chi Payer assist you. Hetty, you lead the Saint Heli elite girl warriors to be responsible for the ground defense on each planet. Kiki Bell, you continue to be in charge of the government affairs of the Jellyfish Girl clan. The productivity you provide is crucial to the Empire. Stell, the network security and AI protection of the entire Imperial fleet will depend on your Golden Sparrow Spirit clan. Longmo, bring the Imperial Dragon Guards with me and come with me. 1. I'm going out now to find a star map. After Qin Sheng arranged everything, the virtual projections of the women in front of them all shouted in unison, "Please rest assured the Emperor." Qin Sheng will take the Emperor's advent to travel to the main star system, which is 3 million light-years away from this dwarf galaxy. It was a star system with a diameter of about 70,000 light-years. The total mass is much less than the Milky Way. Qin Sheng was not planning to recruit too many warships. Just aboard a single battleship, the Emperor's advent, will do. After all, apart from the 30 or so Tier 5 battleships, the remaining 12 million battleships are all Tier 0 at the peak of Tier 4. These Tier 4 peak battleships are powerless to fight back against the real Tier 5 battleships. The Emperor's Immortal, 27 kilometers long, is equipped with the only 4-dimensional space cage blocking device of the 5th level peak level. And its public 5-level technology. If there is an enemy that even the Emperor's Advent can't solve, no matter how many warships are dispatched, it will only be cannon fodder. This time, Qin Sheng took the Emperor's Advent to the star system whose name was unknown. The purpose was to search for a star map. But Qin Sheng doesn't hold out hope for this. Just trying to find it. 3 days later, the Dakan Empire had a huge fleet of 50 million warships that successfully settled in this planetary system. Including 12 million warships, 38 million ships including engineering ships, home ships, ships of all levels. After everything is ready, Qin Sheng led the Emperor Temporary and a total of 129,367 crew members to approach the central black hole of this dwarf galaxy. Then began to calculate the coordinates, ready to make the transition through the black hole. Yorbo and the star system. The name symbolizes beauty and peace. Although each civilization in the star system has its own language, the names of Yorbo and the star system are not consistent. But despite their different languages and their respective names for the star system, the beautiful meaning is always the same. The moment when the battleship Emperor Temporary jumped out of the black hole at the center of the Heng 5.2 galaxy, Qin Sheng first checked the public screen of the player chat system. See if you can access. The results show. In this star system, no player exists. This is not surprising. After all, the universe is so vast, and the number of star systems is innumerable. If there are players in every star system in the universe, it will be really scary. Okay, first target, look for a star map. Let's take a look at the communication in this stellar system, whether there is superluminal communication. Also, to judge the Holy See, we also have to check to see if there are people who judge the Holy See in this star system. For the Judgment Holy See, Qin Sheng is inclined to have it. After all, there are branches of Judgment Holy See, even in the Milky Way. And this star system is closer than the Milky Way to the distance of 1.5 billion light-years of the Great Wall System of Hercules' northern corona galaxies, so there is no reason why the Holy See cannot be judged. 41%. Chapter 197 The Holy Shua Civilization and the Mingshu Brother Federation Subscription. The battleship HMS Emperor Provisional travels all the way out from the center of this star system. There was no option to conduct an exploration of FTL in the center of the river system. Because in general, the center of every star system is about the same, full of black holes, massive stars, and dying massive supernovae. Everywhere, all kinds of cosmic radiation, cosmic storms, the situation is very bad. From the environmental point of view, the average civilization will not choose to occupy the center of the galaxy. Instead, it's to occupy the habitable zone that surrounds the center of the galaxy. The Emperor Temporary probed all the way, and Qin Sheng really received some super light communication signals. Well, let me see. The Tachyon universe has obvious fluctuations. There are also some civilizations above the 4th level in this star system. But the overall space is calm, only the curvature navigation trajectory was detected, and the spatial fluctuation caused by the space weapon was not detected. That is to say, the advanced civilization in this star system is similar to the Milky Way, and it is slightly weaker, basically the 4th level. 01 After the preliminary investigation, Qin Sheng began to follow one of the traces of the Tachyon universe fluctuations. Well, it's this superluminal Tachyon communication band again. Since entering this star system, the Emperor Temporary has received the same Tachyon communication band several times. Interesting, is it a message that keeps looping in the star system? This kind of fast-paced Tachyon communication has been continuously circulated in a wide area in the star system by some means, which has ensured that every civilization with sufficient means can receive it. It's like someone taking a loudspeaker and broadcasting a constant cycle of broadcasts to the entire star system. Listen to what these people have to say. The Emperor Temporary receives one of the Tachyon communications and broadcasts it. The next moment, a virtual light screen appeared in front of Qin Sheng. An image appeared on the light screen. It is composed of countless numbers that Qin Sheng does not know. It's a number used by alien civilizations. And in the lower right corner of the image, there is a simple, digital parsing. The analysis of these numbers is very simple, even the ancients of Blue Star can understand it. For example, in the characters of different civilizations, which character represents the number 1 and so on. The image displayed on the virtual light screen is a mathematical image message based on mathematical logic. Is telling something. In terms of the computing power of Qin Sheng's strong intelligent brain, these things are easy to understand. Although the languages of the civilizations in the universe are different, and the four-dimensional logic is different, the mathematics is the same. Through mathematics, it is possible to communicate even if there is no language. Qin Sheng sighed with emotion. He already understood what the images meant. The translation is roughly as follows. Yorbo and the Star System announcement of the end of the Fourth Galactic War and an emergency reconciliation order for civilizations still at war on the edge of the galaxy. 1. The galactic wars are over and a new order of galaxies has been established. The Yorbo and the Galactic Council, led by the Holy Shua civilization, will take over the power of the galaxy. Wars between all advanced civilizations cease immediately. Accept reconciliation from the Galactic Council. The new chaos war is coming. We need to unite all forces, stop internal fighting, and fight. After understanding this, Qin Sheng nodded slightly. So it is, this galaxy was in war before, and a new war is about to start, Chaos War. Qin Sheng felt a little helpless when he saw this word. How can Nima see these shit sticks in the warp chaos wherever he goes? Explore the traces of this superluminal tachyon communication in the tachyon universe first, trace the source, and find someone who can handle things in this galaxy. 1. Qin Sheng immediately traced the communication traces. However, no useful results were obtained. Tracing the source shows that this tachyon communication broadcast has been wandering in this star area for a long time. The detailed time is no longer available, but it is based on the approximate communication traces wandering path and this super light communication speed that is 100 times the speed of light. The time span of this communication is about 2 to 5 million years. Either 2 million years ago, or 5 million years ago. But no matter which one is correct, it is meaningless to Qin Sheng. Qin Sheng can only know that this galaxy is called Yorbo and the Star System. At least 2 million years ago, another civilization called Shengshua organized the Galaxy Council, ended the Fourth Galaxy War, and led the Galaxy civilization. Fight chaos. How is the result? Unknown. After millions of years, this Holy Shua civilization may also cease to exist. At this moment, Qin Sheng suddenly received another super light communication. This is the 5th Sector Defense Fleet of the Mingshua Brother Federation. The ships of unfamiliar civilizations, you have entered the territory of the Mingshu Yage Federation. Please explain your purpose. Don't act rashly. Accompanying this information is another dictionary attachment. Formally attached to this dictionary, Qin Sheng's strong intelligent brain instantly translated the above message and understood its meaning. The Emperor 567 Temporary did not do any disguise, nor did it use space cover to hide itself. Therefore, it is normal to be discovered by other civilizations. After all, Qin Sheng came to this galaxy to find out if there was a branch of the Holy See, and to get a star map. Not here to fight. And Qin Sheng also discovered the other's fleet and probed through space fluctuations. The other party's fleet is now 2 light years away. According to the standard of the 4th level civilization, the other party's ship is out of sight, but the Emperor Temporary is a real 5th level warship. It can discover the existence of each other through quantum fluctuations in space across light years. As for how the other party discovered the Emperor Temporary, after more careful exploration, Qin Sheng discovered a motionless detection outpost hidden in a meteorite belt at a distance of about 100 million kilometers. We are from Yorbo and the Great Qin Empire outside the star system. We like peace. We entered the Yorbo and the star system this time to find the branch of the Holy See of Judgment, in the hope of obtaining a more detailed map of the universe. Let's go after you get it. If your civilization can tell us where the Holy See branch of the Judgment is, I would be very grateful. 1. Qin Sheng is a set of standards between civilizations, and harmonious speeches have been sent to the past. 41%. Chapter 198 I don't want to kill again, why force me? Subscription. After the message was sent, it took a long time for the other side to respond. It is estimated that during this period of time, they were communicating internally, or some meeting was going on. External civilization. It has been a long time since an extrasolar civilization has arrived in our galaxy. Our Mingshua Brother Federation is a friendly and harmonious federation. In the past, we will be very welcome and happy to invite you to have a friendly exchange. Exchanges between different civilizations can promote common progress, but now it is different. We ask you not to move forward. In our galaxy, a new round of chaos war is brewing, and the war is about to begin. 1. The threat of warped chaos demons is too deep for us to let our guard down. We will have no further contact with any outsider. I also ask you to understand, please immediately withdraw a distance of 1 light year, and do not approach this star area. After reading the message from the other party, Qin Sheng nodded slightly. Civilizations are divided into different isms. There are many types of civilizations, such as xenophobia, extreme xenophobia, extreme military xenophobia, etc. Today, among the advanced civilizations in the universe, these two types of civilizations are extremely rare. Judging from the external manifestations of the Mingshu Yage Federation, they should have been a more foreign-friendly civilization in the past. Foreign-friendly civilizations focus on exchanges, trade, and development among different civilizations and races to jointly promote prosperity. Although I don't know the specific civilization level of this Mingshu Yage Federation. But thinking about it, being able to use super-light communication means is at least a 4th-level elementary civilization. Today's Qin Sheng has greatly attracted the attention of Chaos Zinch, and he doesn't want to be beaten to death as soon as he comes up. If it goes on like this, I am afraid that Qin Sheng's corn will pay more attention to Qin Sheng at the beginning. One Zinch is annoying enough, Qin Sheng doesn't want to attract more attention from corn. Thinking of this, Qin Sheng replied to the other party, "We will leave this star area, but before that, please let us know whether the galaxy has the power to judge the Holy See, if any. 1. Please also send us its coordinates." After sending this message, Qin Sheng is waiting for the other party's reply. After a while, the other party replied, "Thank you for your understanding. We also have a branch of the Holy See of Judgment in our galaxy. But the branch of the Holy See of Judgment in our galaxy is not strong. It is only established by a 4th-level civilization under the Holy See of Judgment. Therefore, their situation is somewhat complicated on the eve of the new Chaos War. If you were to find them, there might be some trouble. This email message has an attachment, and the attachment details the coordinates of the Holy See's judgment. Please also accept it." So easy. Qin Sheng raised his eyebrows. As for what was said in the message, the branch that judges the Holy See here is only the responsibility of a 4th-level civilization subordinate to the Holy See. It doesn't matter at all. Qin Sheng does not intend to seek technology from the Holy See of Judgment here. All you need is a star map. Even if it is only a 4th-level civilization, it is also a 4th-level civilization under the Judgment Holy See. There is nothing else, and there must be a star map. Just when Qin Sheng was about to receive the attachment, he suddenly frowned. Wrong. Something is not right. If it is just coordinate information, is the capacity of this attachment too large? It is just coordinate information, and with the mathematical level of the 4th-level civilization, it can be completely simplified and compressed into a mathematical formula. In the dictionary sent by the other party to Qin Sheng before, Qin Sheng has already understood the relevant symbols of the other party's mathematical use. In cooperation with the Dakan Empire's own observation of this galaxy, combined with mathematical calculations, the coordinates can be calculated by itself. This is the most convenient method for the other party, just send Qin Sheng a mathematical formula. There is no need to make this attachment so large, or even any attachments at all. Qin Sheng directly asked the other party, "The coordinate information is just a mathematical formula can be done, you don't need to get an attachment with such a large amount of data." The other party was silent for a while before answering, "These are some gifts from our side to you. Now, at the critical moment on the eve of the war, we cannot have friendly and common progress exchanges with you. It's a pity for us, so we present the star map of our star system to you." This reason can be said in the past. However, once doubts arise, it is difficult to eliminate them. Qin Sheng was silent for a while, and then replied, "If this is the case, then we are deeply honored." At the same time as the reply, Qin Sheng ordered, "Long Mo, turn off all the external lights on the Emperor Temporary, turn off the warship's engine, and make the illusion that our warship seems to be paralyzed." 1. Yes. Quote. Long Mo nodded immediately. After doing all this, all the lights around were dim, and in the darkness, a dangerous light flashed in Qin Sheng's eyes. "Let me see if you guys have any more ideas." Li Wang Jiao. In the dark space, the huge hull of the Emperor Temporary battleship, which was originally very conspicuous, suddenly dimmed. Silence was motionless in space, shaking after about 333 seconds. Qin Sheng heard Long Mo's report. His Majesty the Emperor detected a super light speed message from the opponent's outpost 100 million kilometers away. 2 hours later, Your Majesty, the space fluctuations 2 light years away have been detected, and the other party has activated the superluminal engine. It is rushing towards us at a speed of 200 times the speed of light. Hear this, Qin Sheng said. Launch a space singularity bomb and send the opponent to the road. I didn't want to kill again. Oh, why are you forcing me? Qin Sheng sighed. 41%. Chapter 197. The Judge Civilization of the Holy See. Join the Holy See. Subscription. Ha ha ha, it's successful. The superluminal engine has been started, and the other party's ship has been paralyzed. Such a big ship is now ours. In the dark space, a dozen warships jointly activated the curvature engine, pulled the surrounding space, and entered the curvature mode. And the people of the Ming Shuya civilization in the battleship each let out a howl of excitement. These creatures don't know what they originally looked like, but now, they all have different degrees of physical variation. Each has a bird's head, or a bird peck on its face, or its skin is covered with colored scale feathers. Praise Tzeentch, our cyborg virus must have worked. Look, such a big ship can be used as our flagship. Everyone, after rushing over, immediately jump in and grab the boat. Don't worry, with the help of the electronic demon virus, any weapons on their ships can't be mobilized. Ha 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 ha. Now, they're the dishes on our chopping board. Let us fish. The Tzeentch Believer fleet had just run a certain distance forward when a harsh warning sounded on the ship. Warning, our ships are locked. Detected a superluminal missile attacking us. 1. The speed of the opponent's superluminal missile is being detected. Testing completed, 6,000 times the speed of light. 1 inch. What? A superluminal missile that is 6,000 times the speed of light. These people are so crazy to make the speed of the superluminal missile so high. Isn't their ship paralyzed? Is it the last struggle? In the eyes of these Tzeentch believers, the other party has only one big ship, and should be a wanderer separated from the main civilization. And the ships of the 4th level civilization are basically impossible to resist under the attack of the electronic demon virus they hold. The ship of the other party, depending on the material, is a neutron degenerate material, which meets the standards of the 4th level civilization. As for the super light speed missile that is 6,000 times the speed of light, although it is amazing, the technical power of the 4th level civilization is not impossible. But there are not many people because it is unnecessary. Such a missile consumes too many resources, and it is enough to build an ordinary destroyer. There is no sign of the other side's superluminal missile changing its orbit. It is a straight line. It should have been launched at the last moment of infection with the electronic demon virus. This missile may also be infected with the electronic demon virus, and it is no longer capable of changing orbits. Sure enough, the last dying struggle. Just one superluminal missile. Let's launch 5 superluminal missiles to intercept it. Wait, be safe. Launch 10 superluminal missiles to intercept. More than a dozen Tzeentch Believer battleships that were sailing with superluminal curvatures turned immediately in space, and the curvature bubbles made more than 10 beautiful scratches in the dark space. Then they exited the superluminal state, and each of the 10 ships launched a superluminal missile to intercept them. In their view, although the speed of the superluminal missile launched by the other party has reached an astonishing 6,000 times the speed of light, it has been moving in a straight line and has not changed its orbit in the slightest. Although they launched 10 superluminal missiles with a speed of less than 300 times the speed of light, they had a 100% success rate in intercepting the targets coming from the opposite direction and moving in a straight line. Sure enough, in their detection screen, 10 light spots representing the missiles they launched were heading towards that light spot. Not surprisingly, it was 100% blocked. Just at the moment when the detection light spot on the screen is about to touch. The light spot on the screen representing the missile launched by the Qin Empire suddenly disappeared. Disappeared without warning, and the 10 interceptor missiles they launched flew straight into the air. What happened? What happened? All the Tzeentch believers looked at each other, not understanding what was going on. In space, the missile launched by the Great Qin Empire was not an ordinary superluminal missile. But the conventional speed is 6,000 times the speed of light, with a certain space transfer maneuverability, and the explosion part is a void singularity bomb, singularity missile. The disappearance just now, in the eyes of outsiders, seems to be a space transfer like teleportation. Instantly dodged the interceptor missile coming from the front. Next moment, when this missile appeared again, it had already appeared in the fleet of Tzeentch believers. And just when these Tzeentch believers were still very confused, destruction came. A singularity with infinitely small size and infinitely large mass is automatically generated, and in the next moment, the extremely terrifying gravitational force, the superluminal speed limit with curvature, ABFC, enveloped the surrounding space of 100 billion kilometers in an instant. All matter within this range, including the dozen or so Tzeentch believers' battleships, was pulled by this terrifying gravitational force, and began to fall madly toward the singularity. The hyperdrive was disrupted and could not be used, and they could only be pulled into the singularity in extreme fear. Instantly turned into nothingness. You destroyed chaos forces. Tzeentch believers Tier 4 battleship, and obtained chaos destruction certificate, 100,000 inches. You have destroyed the forces of chaos. Tzeentch cultists Tier 4 battleships. The reward is increasing 10,000 times. You have the chaos destruction credential. Please note that your chaos destruction credential acquisition has reached a critical value. Please also look for a branch of the Judgment Holy See above the 5th level to improve your authority. 1. It is detected that you have a faction that is fighting against the 5th level chaos forces, and your authority level will be raised to the authority to judge the collaborators of the Holy See. Sure enough, it is the Tzeentch forces that have Nima. 1. Qin Sheng is very helpless. Tzeentch, Gen Nima is a cosmic mess, and there are his followers everywhere. As for the prompt at the back, has this reached the critical value? Qin Sheng frowned slightly. On second thought, 2. Before leaving the galaxy, Qin Sheng held more than 1 trillion chaos destruction credentials. After that, 4 level 4 player civilizations that believed in chaos were wiped out. After returning to the Milky Way again, he used the 4-dimensional space blockade to eliminate 999.9 billion 4th level peak demon creatures under Bai Dao. Coupled with the 10,000-fold increase, the obtained chaos destruction certificate is already an astronomical figure. In fact, what Qin Sheng did, any ordinary 5th level civilization could do it. The 5th level civilization is also crushing the chaos forces below the 5th level and the 4th level. It's easy to get astronomical numbers and countless chaos destruction certificates. Therefore, the reward mechanism that the chaos destruction certificate is used to exchange for technical rewards is just a means used by the Judgment Holy See to motivate civilizations below the 5th level to eliminate the chaos forces. For civilizations above level 5, there are other methods for judging the Holy See. For example, give them higher level authority in the Holy See of Judgment and let them join the Holy See of Judgment and the like. After all, the Holy See of Judgment is not just a civilization. Any participating civilization can call itself the Holy See of Judgment. It is a huge force that gathers many civilizations. But the real Judgment Holy See headquarters is only the 6th level civilization that originally created Judgment Holy See. How did this information appear in my mind in an instant? Qin Sheng was stunned for a moment. He didn't know the above information a second ago. But this second, it automatically appeared in his mind. Hello, the Emperor of the Dakan Empire. We are the judge civilization in the Judgment Vatican, specializing in reviewing civilizations that are eligible to join the Vatican. Now we are 10 billion light years away and have an instant call with you. The information just now is also sent to you by us across 10 billion light years. 41%. Chapter 198 The Eye of the Incubating Warp. Subscription. Inquisitor Civilization. Qin Sheng instantly understood what this meant. Just now, he was qualified to join the Holy See of Judgment. Obviously, this Judgment Vatican has a huge ability, can span 10 billion light years, and know which civilization has the qualifications to join. Then find the location of the other party in an instant, and talk to the other party. However, how is this done? Qin Sheng didn't understand. Even if it is a 6th level civilization, it is not easy to do this, and it will take time. Seemingly already aware of Qin Sheng's doubts, the judge said civilly, "We have already begun to pay attention to you. 1 inch. While you were still in the galaxy. We will pay special attention to every civilization with great potential. 1. Obviously, the Great Qin Empire is in this ranks. By the way, there is one more thing that we need to explain to you in advance. As long as there is a civilization or an individual with a certificate to destroy the Chaos Demon, we can track the location of the Holy See." 1. Hearing this sentence, Qin Sheng frowned slightly, but quickly relaxed again. "Don't worry," Inquisitor Wenming said. "Although in the universe, any civilization or individual that has killed the Chaos Demon, the Holy See of Judgment can track its specific location. But these specific information is an extremely huge encrypted information that involves the entire universe. If you don't have the computing power of the 6th level peak civilization, it is impossible to calculate at all, and you don't have to worry about your location information being leaked. Furthermore, this information can only be accessed by the senior officials of the 6th level civilization of the Holy See headquarters. This point, let me explain to you in advance. Hearing this, Qin Sheng nodded slightly. What else could he do? The height of the 6th level civilization is so high. Judge Wen continued. Even after we accepted the order of the headquarters, the upper level informed you of your location and then communicated with you. You can trust the Holy See headquarters, and you can trust us. Although our judge is a 6th level primary civilization, after this mission of contacting you, we will also be actively cleared by the Holy See headquarters to clear the logical concept layer of your location information. Afterwards, although we will remember that we disbanded from you, we will not remember the exact location of the galaxy in which we contacted you. As long as any civilization that joins the Holy See of Judgment will be affected by the concept of rules that the Holy See of Judgment has blessed itself with. It is also to strictly prevent traitors from appearing within the Holy See. After explaining all this, Inquisitor Wenming asked, how did you decide to join the Holy See of Judgment and accept the qualification test task? After joining the Holy See of Judgment, you will receive the full support of the top officials of the Holy See of Judgment. 1. At the same time, under the protection and constraints of the rules rewritten by the Holy See of Judgment, it will be difficult for the Chaos Evil God to invade you. If you join us, we believe that you will soon be able to be promoted to a 6th level civilization. Qin Sheng pondered for a while, and judged the protection of the Holy See's rewritten rules. In this short sentence, Qin Sheng felt a huge constraint, which he didn't like, and Qin Sheng didn't need this rule to protect the benefits from being invaded by the evil god of chaos. Because he is immune to these. Qin Sheng thought for a while and said, sorry, our civilization has always been used to freedom, and for the time being, we will not join any major forces in the universe. After getting this answer, the other party expressed understanding and said, yes, this is your right to choose, and we will respect you. 1. However, according to the rules of the Judgment Holy See, you also have the qualifications to become an extra numerical civilization of the Judgment Holy See. Extra staff civilization. What's the difference between Judgment and Holy See civilization? Qin Sheng asked. The extra staff civilization is actually the bounty hunter civilization, but they have higher exchange authority than the bounty hunter civilization. But it will not be protected by the internal rules of the Holy See, nor will it be bound. Usually it's a level 4 to 5 civilization. Among them, the 5th level civilization has the largest number. The Holy See of Judgment will regularly issue tasks, and extra staff civilizations can also freely choose to accept or not to accept. After completing the task, the extra staff civilization will directly receive rewards from the Holy See of Judgment. Of course, the extra staff civilization is also protected by the Holy See of Judgment to a certain extent. For example, if an extra staff civilization is hunted down by the chaotic demon forces that they cannot defeat, then they can turn to any nearest 6th level civilization of the Holy See of Judgment. They will get the help of the 6th level civilization for free. Of course, this permission can only be used once every 100 years. Hearing this, Qin Sheng felt pretty good. It is also very good to become an extra staff civilization of the Judgment of the Holy See, free and easy, and you can choose whether to accept the task of Judgment of the Holy See according to your own heart. There is also the power to directly ask for help from the 6th level civilization. Yes, I can accept to be a non-staff of the Holy See. Qin Sheng said, very good, we will immediately create the archives of the civilization of the Great Qin Empire. There was silence for a while, and then the voice suddenly rang. There is one thing, you are angry, but you are not angry. What is it? Does this have a mission? Qin Sheng was taken aback. Yes, that's right, we just checked, the galaxy you are in has basically fallen 1,000 years ago. Falled, what do you mean? Qin Sheng's heart suddenly felt. He actually understood what it meant, but he had to ask specifically. 1,000 years ago, the branch established by the extranumerary civilization of the Holy See of Judgment in this galaxy has been destroyed. Point 0. The entire galaxy has been invaded by chaos, and basically the entire territory has fallen. At least 900 years ago, an eye of the warp has begun to brew. 1. After 900 years of incubation, it should now be in its final form. If it is completely formed, then this galaxy will become a huge warp rift with a length of 70,000 light years. As a gateway between the real universe and the warp. 1. At that time, more chaos demons will swarm out from here. But that's in the future. At least now, the Eye of the Warp hasn't fully formed yet. There's also good news. There are 6 other Inquisitorial Vatican 5th level extra numerical civilizations on their way to this galaxy. 1. If you accept this quest, you will be working with 6 other level 5 extra civilizations to destroy the hatching Eye of the Warp. 1. Although the Eye of Warp is extremely terrifying after it takes shape, it is not too big a threat now, and 6 5th level extra staff civilizations are enough to destroy it. Afterwards, you can make any request and any reward you wish to the Holy See of Judgment according to your contribution in the task. As long as the contribution is sufficient, the Holy See of Judgment will satisfy you. Hearing this, Qin Sheng nodded slightly. Now he is in this galaxy, and he has just destroyed a fleet of Tzeentch believers. It is estimated that he has attracted the attention of the chaos forces in this galaxy. Since the 5th level civilization is capable of confrontation, running away is not Qin Sheng's style, not to mention the other 6 helpers. Then the reward of this task is equivalent to giving him nothing. Take it. Why didn't you take the mission to the mouth? Pill. 41%. Chapter 199. The Dakan Empire is here to be a bastard and rewarded. Subscribe. Judgment of the Holy See Katakana Middle. Level 5 Extra Normative Civilization, Dakan Empire. Novice Saint. Mission accepted. Mission objective. Destroy Yorbo and the hatching warp eye within the galaxy. Quest reward. Free request rewards that can be requested from the Holy See of Judgment according to the level of quest contribution. Please go to the target location and join up with your allies on this mission. A coordinate appeared in Qin Sheng's mind. Qin Sheng listened to the familiar system sound, and he understood that the current prompt sound is the system of Shanghai Games taking over. But speaking of it, the prompt sound of this system has not been heard for a while. I really miss it. Emperor's Advent. Start the space jump engine and head to the target location. 570s. Qin Sheng closed his eyes, and the star map of Yorbo and the galaxy that came with this mission automatically appeared in his mind. According to the star map, the battleship, Emperor's Impression, where Qin Sheng is located is now at the periphery of Yorbo and the central circle of the galaxy. The meeting point with friendly forces is at the edge of Yorbo and the galaxy. It is more than 40,000 light-years away from Qin Sheng. But for today's Qin Sheng, in one day, he can get anywhere in Yorbo and the galaxy he wants. The Emperor's Rise battleship star system space jump engine started immediately. The jump light hole is opened. Then, at a speed that was completely inconsistent with its huge hull, it turned into a ray of light and flew into the light hole. Judgment Holy See, Mission Assembly Point. In the endless space, the countless stars and the Milky Way dotted this dark curtain. The jump light hole is opened. A ray of light flew out, and the light faded. The battleship, Emperor's Rise, appeared in this piece of space. Qin Sheng looked at the empty space in front of him and confirmed the coordinates. Nodding slightly. The others haven't arrived yet. Wait here for a while. Long Mo, the battleship is in combat mode. After ordering the entire battleship to enter combat mode, the various weapons on the Emperor's Advent have opened their equipment locks and can be fired at any time. 3 days later, it is 300 million kilometers away from the battleship Emperor's Advent. A huge quantum leap light hole opened. The radius of this transition light hole is about 1,000 kilometers. It can be seen that the scale of the civilization fleet that has jumped over after the light hole is not small. Soon, densely packed, countless rays of light flew out from the quantum leap hole. These rays of light stopped, and the brilliance soon subsided. Showing his true face, it was an ordinary space battleship. It's not unusual, and it even looks a bit silly. Every battleship is a well-behaved cylinder. Lined in space, there are about tens of thousands of densely packed cylindrical battleships. Sometimes, just by looking at the style of the battleship, you can tell what kind of civilization this civilization is. In general, the cylindrical shape of the warship is the best choice for every first-level civilization entering space. There is no need for aerodynamics in space, and in addition to the spherical shape, the cylindrical warship is the shape that can carry and utilize the most resources. The greater the mass of the warship, the more round the appearance of the warship. Because the battleship itself will generate gravity when it gets bigger, the spherical shape can make the force of each place on the battleship itself more uniform. If it is not spherical, then the force on the surface of the battleship will not be uniform, and the battleship will be collapsed by its own gravity. Of course, after the civilization level is high, there is no need to be limited by this, and there are generally technologies to limit gravity. And this newly arrived civilization is a fifth-level civilization, and it also chose to use the cylindrical battleship shape commonly used by first-level civilization. It can be seen that the people of this civilization are most likely rigid people. They were all friendly troops, so Qin Sheng expressed his friendliness and sent a message first. Say hello in the language prescribed within the Inquisition. And the opposing fleet also discovered the battleship, Emperor's Immortal, for the first time. Facing Qin Sheng's message, the opposing fleet was stunned for a while, and then replied with a message. Silicon-based creature, Ancient Morris Civilization, commander of the 3rd Expedition Fleet, Argus Reg 0. Qin Sheng learned the position and name of the opposing commander. Other than that, there is no other communication. And the Ming fleet, the flagship. In the bridge, the creature that looked like it was completely made of stones was Argus Rouge. Qin Sheng did not know whether the Ancient Morris Civilization joined the Silicon-based alliance, but the Ancient Morris Civilization was very different from the 5th-level mechanical civilization of the Silicon-based alliance that Qin Sheng encountered in the galaxy. The 5th-level mechanical civilization in the Milky Way before is basically a strong intelligent AI. The people of the Ancient Morris Civilization were more like a creature, although they were silicon-based. What Qin Sheng didn't know was that most of the advanced silicon-based civilizations in the universe now more or less have the appearance of some other civilizations intervening to grow. But the Ancient Morris Civilization is a purely native silicon-based biological civilization. At this moment, in the Ancient Morris Civilization, Argus Rouge, the commander of the 3rd Expedition Fleet, has doubts in his heart. Doubts about the Qin Empire. Just a battleship. Argus Rouge was a little puzzled, thinking in his heart. Although this mission is not particularly difficult, and there are many civilizations involved, there must be many chaos fleets near the unincubated eye of the warp. Why does the Great Qin Empire only dispatch one warship? Is it a strong self-sustaining strength? No, the data shows that this Qin is just a new extra staff civilization added to 5.2, a novice saint level. Could it be that after seeing our 6 civilizations out of this mission, they thought it would be beneficial, so they came to be bastards and rewarded? For a time, Agislag had set a label for Qin Sheng as a jerk. Soon after, several other transition light holes opened. The rest of the fleets of the other 5th-level civilizations arrived one after another. Without exception, their fleet size is not small. All are in the tens of thousands. Another civilization brought more than 50,000 Tier 5 warships. When they saw that there was only one warship in the Qin Empire. Also very suspicious. Invariably, they, like Agislag, believed that the Great Qin Empire was purely a scumbag and rewarded. 42%. Chapter 200. You are just a battleship, what can you do? Subscription. All the fleets have been assembled. In the virtual communication space channel shared by the 7 civilizations, a very strange creature who could barely see a humanoid shape looked at the others. The creature glanced at the others and said, I am the leader of this mission, from the Wilgita civilization, Admiral Steel Wheel. This mission will be spearheaded by the 12th Expedition Fleet of our Wilgita civilization. Some of you are familiar faces of mine, and I often see them at conferences that judge extra staff civilizations of the Holy See. 1. And some are completely new faces. Let me explain in advance that our Wilgita civilization is a 5th-level advanced civilization. And our attitude towards the task is that there is no room for a grain of sand in our eyes. If some people want to fish in troubled waters, don't blame me for being ruthless. This Steel Wheel Admiral has 12 eyes, and his body as a whole, in Qin Sheng's view, is barely in the shape of a person, standing upright on 2 legs and 4 arms. The 12th Expedition Fleet of the Wirjita civilization led by Admiral Steel Wheel 01 was among the civilizations present, with the largest number of battleships and the strongest strength. There are more than 50,000 warships. The fleets of several other 5th-level civilizations are also in the tens of thousands. The number of warships in the entire coalition is about 100,000. They are all battleships of the 5th-level civilization, and their strength is powerful. And when Admiral Steel Wheel said the last 2 sentences, those 12 eyes were looking at Qin Sheng. The meaning of which is very obvious. After all, among the 7 civilizations present, the remaining 6 civilization fleets are all tens of thousands. Only the Great Qin Empire has only 1 battleship. And it was a mediocre-looking battleship with a length of only 27 kilometers. Among the standards of most 5th-level civilizations, the nearly 30-kilometer-long battleship is just an ordinary battleship with a standard firepower configuration. Therefore, everyone present thought that the Great Qin Empire was just a bastard who came to meddle with quest rewards. Although the Holy See of the Last Judgment gives quest rewards, it depends on your contribution level in the quest. But Judgment of the Holy See is generous. This kind of task for chaos, as long as you participate in the task, there will also be a relatively considerable reward that belongs to you. Based on this idea, these civilizations certainly did not have a good impression of Qin Shang. As for Qin Shang, he didn't care at all and didn't say anything. After all, their current impression of Qin Shang only stems from the fact that Qin Shang only brought one battleship. Under this premise, it is normal for them to have opinions on Qin Shang. Therefore, in the face of these alien races that are not human-like, Qin Shang did not activate the second effect of the Emperor's halo to deter them. They are all extra staff civilizations who judge the Holy See and fight against chaos. The entire combined fleet is under my command, so I don't think you have any opinions. The Steel Wheel Admiral glanced at the people. I have no problem, or rather, I feel more fortunate. 1. After all, Admiral Steel Wheel, your mother civilization, the Wilgita civilization, is a 5th-level advanced civilization. Furthermore, you yourself are well known among the extra staff civilizations of the Holy See. It should be said that I am relieved, because with you, this mission will definitely be a lot easier. A creature that looks similar to an ape but has a body like a praying mantis said with a smile. Ah, very good. Admiral Steel Wheel nodded slightly, his 12 eyes narrowed slightly, but he didn't express much. It seems that he enjoys flattery, or is used to being flattered. Okay, let me arrange their respective positions first. Agislag, I know the characteristics of your ancient Morris civilization, and your fleet serves as the vanguard. Our Virgida's fleet serves as the main force in the middle. Under the arrangement of Admiral Steel Wheel, 6 fleets of the 100,000 warships of the entire combined fleet have their own positions. The front, the central army, the side army, and the rear army are clearly arranged. But only Qin Shang, he did not arrange. Now, the fleet is set out, heading towards the position of the Eye of the Warp. 1. The distance between each fleet is 1 light year. After the fleet set off, everyone left from the virtual communication space channel. Qin Shang received a separate communication request from Admiral Drum Wheel. Find me alone. Qin Shang raised his brows. He had already thought about the meaning of this Steel Wheel Admiral talking to him alone. Admiral Steel Wheel stood in front of Qin Shang with 4 arms, 2 around his chest and 2 behind his back. 12 distinctly mechanical eyes flashed red. Sure enough, he said, I'll give you 2 choices now. Qin Shang didn't say anything else, just sat on the command chair on the bridge. His elbows rested on the armrest of the chair, and he was wearing armored gloves made of neutron degenerate matter that looked like dragon claws. Qin Shang tilted his head, 2 electronic eyes flashing the same light. What choice? Talk about it. 1. Your Dakan Empire's mission, L, is of no use, and it may be buried. Once you are in any danger, it is impossible for me to direct the fleets of other civilizations to divide troops to rescue you. The situation on the battlefield is changing rapidly. If there is any accident because of you, then I can't accept it. This is also irresponsible for the 5 civilizations that entrusted me with the task of commanding the fleet and trusted me. The second is, I said before that in the army under the command of the Virgitians, everyone has to have a place and a role. If you don't quit, then I can only arrange for you to do the most dangerous exploration mission. 12 eyes of Admiral Steel Wheel stared at Qin Shang. These words did not let Qin Shang retreat, but it made Qin Shang feel a little good about him in his heart. This Steel Wheel Admiral is a responsible person, and he needs to be responsible for the command of the other generals, as well as the lives of hundreds of millions of people in the entire fleet. He is responsible for the 5 civilizations. And it appears that Drum will live up to that trust. Rest assured. Qin Shang stood up, just when the drummer nodded slightly, thinking that Qin Shang was about to quit. Qin Shang said, I'm not going to quit, and I'm not going to be a jerk. If you have a mission, come on. Admiral Steel Wheel wrinkled his brows deeply, and a little anger surged in his heart. In his opinion, Qin Shang was a direct challenge to him. A battleship, what can you do? This is the battlefield of the 5th-level civilization. What role can a warship of yours play on the battlefield? What role can a warship of yours play on the battlefield? What role can a warship